Afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to the Dice Squad 3v3 tournament. I am Danny Boy A2AM, and funny enough, it's an all Irish broadcast tonight here in the European region as well. Joining me is, of course, a top player in Europe. Top 120, in fact, was the sub to Cameron Gaming, one of the sponsors of the tournament as well. And, of course, doing all the sexy work in the scenes behind, which is getting to you now on Twitch. You can, of course, see the bracket, and that man himself is Mayday.
How you doing, Danny?
Doing quite well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very excited for this tournament today. So the first game up we have is going to be Yowza and the winner of Wind and Rain at Advinta. Who do you think's going to win that, Danny?
Well, between the two, I would say wind and rain, but Aventa has provided a few upsets now and again from what I've seen by the names of the team. But again, we do have Yauzo being the mainstream so far, but Mayday, we do seem to have a few results on the other side of the bracket on the lower end. Can you tell us what's happened there?
We do indeed, Danny. Gold Diggers but Better have 2-0'd Fat Penguin Gaming. Seems it's who's on the teams? Calzify, Boy School Q and Kai have beaten Shoes, Aiden Man and Joel 5-1 and 4-2. So pretty convincing scores there, Danny.
Pretty convincing indeed. I haven't seen much on that end of those games there. I don't see any of the players streaming their perspective as well. But in the other match there, 2-0 sweep as well. And I believe it's SJ, a former professional player. He done the G Finley at one point. But I seen a strong lineup there as well.
You did indeed, Danny. It's SJ, Candor, and Dreams. Candor and Dreams have both been top 100 players for the last 2 or 3 seasons. They've done very, very solid in tournaments recently against Finn the Bear, Aaron7723, and Matrix. They got 2-0 and 1-0, so it was very close games. Could have gone either way.
Could have gone either way. And speaking about ways as well, we do see a few people in chat of some famous faces as well. Danny Naughty, lovely to have you here. Cynical as well. And a Defiant has joined in the chat. Lovely to have you here as well. But funny enough, we do see that result as Wind and Rain takes it 2-0. So no upsets there on the expected predictions.
None indeed. It was 2-0 for BJB, Snuffmill, and Moxify against Kent, Zaders, and Tango, I believe. It was 2-1 and 3-2, so again, very close games. The skill in this tournament seems to be very close between teams.
Well, close enough, but will be the case. And I believe BJB there saying it's
Ah,
Inferno.
Inferno.
Oh, well, it's
That
going to
makes
get
it
a
a bit
lot
more
more
interesting, yeah.
steamy as well, especially with that string game that is coming up. And I think it's only fair enough, Mayday. Who's on that lineup?
We have Wind and Rain, which is BJB, Inferno, and Snuff against OSM, Jazer, and Pethy, the big team from RLRS who got, I believe it was top 28 in the end. And obviously the big name there is Jazer. Everybody knows Jazer. Everyone loves his videos. He's a great
Sorry,
freestyler.
who is he? I only know a Fusher there, and I don't know if that why he sub.
I believe he was meant to be playing with the Dubliners, but unfortunately one of the Dubliners couldn't play, so Fuser decided to sub in for this team just in case they needed one.
Yeah, always wise to have the sub just in case. And
Oh,
we
it,
do know.
apparently
Uh,
according to BJB, it's OSM, Pethy, and Fuser.
oh,
So Jazer's not playing. Ooh, interesting.
drama alert, maybe? Who knows?
Possibly. But I believe that's the game that we need to get into, isn't it, Danny?
It is indeed, and we will get that match up and running as well. But when that is the case, I believe the players, one of them hasn't signed up yet in the form of the check-in. So once that is there, we will get the game going as quickly as possible. But Mayday,
We have two new results coming in from C and D, Washed Up Boys and Rookies. Washed Up Boys is Kieran, Treefork, Pupper against Rookies, which is Slendermoss, Rose, and either Blue or Turks. They 2-0'd them, so it's a pretty solid win for Washed Up Boys. The games haven't been reported just yet. And Yurt have also been knocked out 2-1 to Bim Bam Brigade. Yurt, obviously a team me and Danny know very well. Demox, Red Eyes, and Walshy against Clover, Steven, and Calio, getting just beaten out. They won the first game 1-0, lost the second game 3-1, and lost the third game 3-2. What are your thoughts on
Right.
that, Danny?
Well, like most Irish players, they seem to get knocked out pretty quickly. So at least we're not going to have a painfuls or RLRs qualifiers. Most of them did get knocked out before it even started. But we do have, of course, Vert playing in the tournament as well. So hopefully better in that result regarding the Irish flag being flown. But what is the case? It seems Bim Bam is on a march and they will play B1. And of course, we might see them later on the stream at the semi final stage.
So, Danny, quick question for you. Do you have a favorite from this tournament? Who do you think's going to take it all?
Who's going to take it all? Well, that's a difficult question. Anybody in chat might fancy an answer to that one.
He's looking for an out, boys. He doesn't want to guess.
Oh, if I have to imagine, maybe Drama Alert. They've been pretty good on results lately on tournaments. They pulled out some shockers, so I keep an eye on them. They're probably your dark horse, though, in it.
That's a very good dark horse to win it. I think, obviously, in terms of favourites, it has to be Ireland and UK. They're the number one seed for a reason. They've got two recently promoted Rank X players, Blurry and Archie, along with Vert, who's repping the Irish guys. So hopefully he can pull a one out for the Irish lads. But apart from that, I think I'd have to agree with you there, Danny. Drama Alert are definitely the best dark horse there. There is, of course, Comrade. Comrade could do a decent run. They have done so in the last two URLAs. But maybe Dutch Bim Bam as well. Dutch Bim Bam could take it all. Is there anyone there that you don't want to see win it, Danny?
Why, you presume that the European caster here that's going to cause controversy?
Ah, we have to, Danny. Come on. We have to cause
Um,
controversy somehow.
I think Switch is not going to do it tonight.
Ah, poor Switch.
Yeah, I think Switch is going to lose badly, and I think somebody on Twitter is going to get a nasty at message.
We have a question from Drowsy. Who's on Drama Alert? So Drama Alert is GAS, Adzer, and Ryan, as far as I'm aware. Again, it could have changed. They could be playing with Wizard, but that team has done very, very well and beaten a lot of very good teams in decent tournaments recently.
Well, I can confirm it isn't with Wizard on that one. I am in the Drama Alert sort of Discord and see it is the standard lineup there, so there shouldn't be any excuses from those lads tonight to see
That
them
is a
play very
very,
hard.
very strong lineup. They could definitely sneak the win out in this one.
Yeah, we have got the match details made out, so we shall see this match here getting underway pretty much shortly here.
So we have Yowza against Wind and Rain. So what do you think the series is going to be like, Danny? Do you think it's going to be a sweep or do you think it's going to be close fought games?
I think it's going to probably be around the region of a 3-1 favouring Yazzers. I don't see it going the distance, but again, I could be wrong. But again, you've reached the top 120 at Mayday. What's your opinion?
I think BJB and Snuff are a very good duo, but I'm not sure if they're as good as OSM and Petty. OSM and Petty have been playing for the last 3 or 4 seasons together. They know each other very well, and the passing plays they can do with Fuger's shooting accuracy, I think it's just going to be too much to handle for Wind and Rain, unfortunately.
Ooh, hard hitting straight facts from an analyst caster. It's unusual.
What, do you want me to sugarcoat it? Is that what I'm supposed to do?
I don't know. I got told off for that.
Oh,
But
okay.
well, that is the case. It was Win and Rain creating the lobby, so we're just making sure. Sorry, Yows are creating the lobby, so we'll just try to hopefully see them getting it up. But we do have the details. This is, I believe they're taking their time getting it up.
Hopefully they join the right sides, because hmm.
Well, I could put in the details. So it's not going to make much difference.
Yeah, it's more so just a lot of teams and tournaments decide to, for whatever reason, go with the opposite color. Because people have favorites in this game for some reason. Do you have a favorite, Danny? Are you a blue or a red man?
My favorite spectate actually.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm I'm sorry. I'm new to this team, Danny. I don't know how to promote the spectate squad.
um, I've been there from 2017. Oh,
Oh, well, Drowsy in chat says orange TF up, Danny. He wants you to get on that orange squad for the orange hair.
I wish I had that sort of ability of saying that, but sadly not.
Ah, you gotta rep the Orange Brothers, Danny. Come on.
I would happily would, but they didn't accept me. I was too orange for them.
Ah, that's fair enough. You can't be out
Yeah,
oranging the orange.
that's some deep things coming out today.
Can't out orange the orange.
That is the shining moment of casting right there.
I seem to have gotten a message from BJ. He's asked me, are we creating or can you invite? Is
See, I
Yowza not
can
creating?
create the lobby, but it's meant to be Yo's are creating them.
Um, have they said anything on the...
As far as I'm aware, I haven't seen anything from either two sites.
Okay, so let's tell them that we'll create it and then they join us,
All right.
just to make things a little bit easier for them. And I'll reply to him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure I don't have drop shot on.
Yeah, the Dank Squad tourney. That's the twist. It's
Yeah.
changed to drop shot last second. Because everyone loves a bit of drop shot, don't they, Danny?
No.
Ah, what do you mean, Danny? It's great crack.
Not if you're playing with Kieran, by the way. Absolutely beats me every time. Right, that is the details I've just created there. So hopefully it should be the details that I've got on the channel for Smash. So hopefully they'll have it as well. So,
I was trying to invite BJ at the last second. It didn't work. No. Joys of being on the spectate squad, hey, Danny?
yeah. Welcome to the fun bit of the tournament.
Inviting
Not
people who
knocked
don't
out,
want to put in.
but you can't, remain there. Actually, I'll just invite Fusher there while I'm potentially there.
Well,
It's handy having all the players in the tournament in your friends list.
it is indeed, isn't it? Instead of
Yeah.
waiting for them to join via the codes.
But
So,
I find it weird here. I mean, casting so many tournaments, and you're sort of going, how do I pronounce that name again? It's gonna be one of these nights. Oh, I believe that's near enough everybody bar OSM. So
no, wait, join. Oh, whoops.
yeah, you made a small mistake there.
Uh,
Well,
whoops.
welcome to the behind the scenes in productions. This is secretly why we pre-script everything first.
Oh,
There's
so there's
OSM.
OSM. We've got Snuff in the game, waiting on OSM now. And hopefully eventually he comes in.
Yeah.
So Danny, is there any of these players that you're fond of?
Well, I'm quite fond of Fusher OSM for, of course, the Mog series on the 1v1. BJB I've seen around in a while. So it should be intriguing enough. Anything in yourself, Mayday, or shall we get the action underway?
Oh, I'm a big fan of Snuff. I played with Snuff on the Glacier esports team for a while. I was the sub for the team, and it was a very interesting time. He's a lovely
Very
lad.
interesting and lovely as it is, but we have got underway and it's Pethy to the side. Fisher will get away. BJB and Inferno with a double commit. OSM to the side. Snuff is there, but Pethy with her, but blocked to the side. OSM just trying to put this ball to the backboard, does so once and twice as well. But this opening 20 seconds has been fairly still between the two.
Yeah, it just seems like the Yowza team has managed to keep up all the pressure. But as I say that, BJB is managing to push it into the orange side and get a poor pass off, which Pethy puts near the goal. Just saved by BJB.
But Snuff with a quick counter down the lane, but Fisher himself near enough hitting 90k on YouTube on subs, so the biggest man here other than OSM. But Pethy is there trying to show that he's not outclassed on skill and ability. BJB in the back, but OSM holds the line. But BJB doing well enough. Inferno straight up to the man himself, but it's a miss. Whiffed a two. Ooh, it's to the backboard. Fisher getting the ball just away as well. But it's this opening minute being crucial between the two teams. They haven't scored, but they've been close. So, yeah.
There's been a lot of action between the two teams. Both of them are very pressed forward. That's almost a goal for the Wind and Rain side. Inferno barely missing that, hitting the post. Fuser pushing the ball forward for the orange side. Pethy bits blocked by Snuff on the wall. They're going to look to push this ball out now, Danny. How do you think this game's gone so far? Who do you think's going to get the first goal here?
Well, it looks like it would be Yowzer. They've been brilliantly sticking the ball, passing it between the two, but can't get the finish. But we have been expecting the two teams, they might struggle. It is some of their first games, but of course, we do see Wind and Rain coming from round one, and that should be the advantage there, though, Mayday.
It should be indeed. They've had a best of three to warm up for this game. You'd think that would make them a little bit more on the front foot in this game, but it seems that the Yowza side has had a bit more of the pressure, a bit more of the ball. They've been allowed to do a lot more than they should be, especially with a team with as high caliber players as there is on it. The Wind and Rain side seems to be sitting back a bit and not pressing as much as they should or they could, and allowing this team to get the passing plays off that might lead to a goal down the line.
Might lead. It is Fisher with the ball to OSM. Pethy to the side. Fisher's up as well. And it could have, should have, but again, Wind and Rain not pushing the ball as quickly as Mayday was saying. It's OSM picking up the pace. Third man BJB to the side. Pethy back in. It's a gentle touch. It caresses OSM to the side. BJB has found a split, a gap. Inferno beaten by Fisher. OSM for a quick counter, still with the ball. A flip reset too. And in between the two sides, still trying to get this opening goal. But 2 minutes remaining, counting down. Still goalless so far.
That was very unfortunate for Inferno. He wanted to take that shot. He just didn't have the boost to get to it and unfortunately hit the ball against the post yet again. It's very, very good attacks from both sides. The defense doesn't really seem to be there from the Wind and Rain side. And as I say that, OSM with a banger in the bottom left corner. What a goal from him. Read the open space, read the pass, and just slotted it home for this Yowza side.
Slots it in, and as that is the case, the first goal here on stream for the Dance Squad tournament. The prize pool as well, reaching up to £100 as well. So is that the goal to get the tournament started and running for Yowzer? And it's again, Fisher misses an opportunity. Could have had the cushion for 2. And speaking about another opportunity, Wind and Rain finding a bit of storm between the play, but Inferno under pressure. But it's just a medial shower. It's just gone and by. Still remains 1-0.
The Wind and Rain side seems to have really woken up from that one goal being scored on them. They're being a lot more offensive, pressing the ball a lot more. I think the first few minutes they were just giving the Yowza side a bit too much respect. As I say that, there's a bump on the blue defense from Inferno and Snuff. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, otherwise it could lead to another goal for this orange side. OSM with a beautiful finish in the top right corner, reading the pass off the backboard from Pethy. What a play from this Yowza side.
What a play. The pass beats the defence, and it's OSM who will pick up his second goal as well. 46 seconds as well. And Mayday, you said Wind and Rain was picking their offence up, but they've been beaten twice when it matters most. Is it a change of play, Sal, or just focus on game 2 at this point now?
I think with 30 seconds left, there's definitely a chance they could come back, especially with a wide open net like that for Snuff to finish from Inferno's pass. 30 seconds left, 2-1 down. They could definitely do it if they just keep this offensive pressure up. What do you think, Danny?
What do you think? Well, it's just been spun on its head. It is possible with that 30-odd seconds remaining. The warning going to be on your screen as well. Inferno with the opportunity now to the side. Snuff is there, and a pass to PJB. Oh, side of the bar, and there Yowzer living on the edge. 17 seconds going down, and it's just keep the ball away, surely. And Win and Rain will be suffering the early loss in this best of 5.
That was a very unfortunate miss from BJB. I think he just misread it the smallest bit, just couldn't read it off the backboard, was afraid that one of the orange defenders would be there. OSM just going to play this one out. BJ trying to keep it up for the pass in middle, hits it off the backboard with a double touch, messes up Inferno, snuffs there, but it gets cleared by the Yowza side, and that's game 1 to Yowza.
Well, game 1 going to Yowza, as we said, but Mayday, you did say Win and Rain, they had improved, they had an opportunity of getting into the game. They got beaten, so what do you fix in this case here? What is the main change?
I think for the first 4 minutes or so, it was more so the teams are feeling each other out. The Yowza side didn't have as much respect for the Wind and Rain side as the Wind and Rain side had for them. I think if Wind and Rain just doesn't respect them as much, pushes the ball, and is as fast as they can be, they can possibly take the series off Yowza.
Possibly taken as well, and all the players have readied up as well, so could be interesting enough to see what is going to develop. Of course, best of 5 in round 2. And we do see a few people in chat there. We see Zerark from, of course, DI, and of course, Priestley is in chat as well. Lovely to have you here. And of course, one of the mod, Drowsy, former one of the best players in Europe, but taking a back seat in retirement. Oh, I remember those days. Competitive and still somewhat relative.
They were the good old days, Danny, back when nobody knew anyone and you could just play the game how you wanted to. But unfortunately, all of these guys have built up serious reputations for being amazing players, and we're going to see this in game 2.
We will indeed, and will it be a Newt and Chill? We will find out if OSM is relaxing onto that backboard, gets it clear to himself for a moment. Inferno, a pass. BJB thinks twice, and so does Fusher. A quick pop and skip, but it's no more. Back to BJB, a very nervous, a shaking start, but Inferno stuff! Oh, it went high, so high indeed. Not even Wind and Rain could get a touch to that one. Fusher sends it down the line. Peffy, top left bins, was the target, but does not connect, and the pressure building up much quicker in this one, and the minute gone too remains goalless until then.
What a beautiful goal from VJB, right in the bottom corner. Inferno bringing the ball up the backboard, touching it down to him, and just sliding it in past Petty. What a play from Wind and Rain.
They get the opening goal, the response that we wanted as well. Now we see Inferno. Life is in the team in blue, but Pethy had enough there. BJB back again to the pass. Wind and Rain now finding the backboard much regularly as well, but it's OSM to Pethy. Pethy beaten by BJB to the side corner, and Fusher to his own backboard. BJB putting the pressure on, but it's just slightly too far. It's Fusher circling around the ball, trying to break away. The wave dash pops it to the corner. Inferno from the ceiling, the pass to BJB, and Fusher had enough bowling, but he should have focused on the ball.
What a whiff from Yowza. No, Pethy can't make it. OSM misreads it. Future can't do anything there, so Inferno just bangs it into the top corner. Inferno just carrying the team there. 1v3. What a goal from him.
Really much focusing on the montage players, but can't get the ball away. They are now 2-0 down as well. BJB to Inferno, and that is beautiful. Take a bow.
What a pass from BJB, and what a touch from Inferno. Slows it down just enough to put it behind OSM. Future can't get there in time. What a team play from them.
Well, Wind and Rain finally showing the goods they have brought to the pitch. OSM now to the backboard. BJB tries to drop it down a touch nonetheless, but OSM with a pinch. Wind and Rain just sending the ball down, not much required, but Fusher with control, the dribble. And it's a strong defensive touch, and Fusher is getting very much annoyed. But Pethy scores from a lovely OSM touch. Is it the comeback starting now?
It was a great pass from OSM to Petty, but as well there you see Future cutting across and bumping the last man so he can't get out to challenge the ball in time. It was a full team play there and it was amazing to see from this Yowza side.
Well, amazing to see, but half of the game still to go. And Fisher, oh, that was a delicate touch from his rear end on play, but now passing to OSM. Boots was in control. Back pass again, but Pethy back to Fisher. It's lovely control. It's wonderful to see. Delicate on the eye, but Fisher. Double touch, OSM and Pethy. 1-2, and it's now 1 goal behind.
Every goal we've seen today has come from a team play, bar the Inferno 1v3, and they've all been amazing. OSM and Pethy are just able to find each other every single time. Their passes are directly on each other's heads. It's amazing to see.
Teams dream about passing the ball as clean as that, and that is just revolting if you're the opposition. Fisher to OSM. The touch. Oh.
I knew it was a game of freestylers against freestylers, but what a shot from OSM. Jeez. Slots it in beautifully above the defender. Insane angle. That's from hours and hours of practice and hours of freestyling. He's able to read angles like that.
Well, we did have maybe doubt that Wind and Rain could get their first game on the board. But it's now under pressure. They're tied, but the team are now playing the way we were hoping. But it's OSM from the wonder of the goal with a decent clear down to Wind and Rain's half to the backboard. Inferno will clear it to his teammate Snoff, who will just catch and gets it to Pethy there. But Inferno pinches it into the middle. Fisher is the player trying to put one of Wind and Rain's offensive player slightly a little bit curious and of course cautious how that would have developed. Inferno to the side, Fisher with a bench, OSM to the side, but misses. Fisher pops it. It's now looking a little bit more like it's going between the two. What a comeback!
What a play from Yowza. Future just forcing this ball up into the corner, not letting it go. Snoff gets a bad clear that bounces straight into Petty's pass. What a finish from Petty. You can see the difference between when Wind and Rain were not respecting their opponents as much as they should be and when they were over-respecting. In the first game, they were over-respecting, didn't have any offense. As soon as they went 3-0 up in this game, they stopped respecting them enough. And as I say that, Inferno, with a beautiful carry, scores a goal and shuts me right up. Never mind.
Well, Inferno has literally said to, of course, the opposition's what we can do, I can do better. Now, with 62 seconds, matey, they've shut you up for a moment. I'm going to ask you, who's going to win game 2?
I have no idea, Danny. This has just been an absolute wonder of a game. So many great goals, so many good team plays. It's just going to come down to the line and see who manages to get that last goal in the last 30 seconds.
Well, we're talking about the last 30 seconds, that warning. We talk about it every so often. It will be popping up shortly. OSM does exactly that. Pops it, gets it to the corner. Fisher with the pressure. BJB blocks Snuff to the side. Pethy will cut the rotation. It allows OSM back boost options there. Tries to fix Snuff. He does so beautifully. BJB pinches it favorably to OSM. And this could be a dangerous faker pass. And he chose the fake 10 seconds down. It's Inferno with the ball. A quick Fisher scrambling deck. Double commit with OSM. BJB with an opportunity. And this ball hasn't touched the ground. It's still favouring Wind and Rain. And OSM keeps it alive. And so, for the first time, we have reached overtime.
It's been an amazing game so far. Both teams have really shown that either of them could take this series as long as they're playing their best. I think the Yowza side has been a little bit more impressive this game, coming from the 3-0 down to bring it back 4-4. Some of the passing plays they're pulling off have been amazing, but Inferno just gets saved by Future, unfortunately. Can Wind and Rain come back and win this and make the series 1-1, Danny? What do you think?
Could they, but just to say, unfortunately with a Fisher save, not supporting your fellow Irishman? Is this bias casting? What is this game? Speaking about the what and the if, that's your answer, matey. Take that!
What a carry from Snuffmill. He flicks it over one, dodges the demo from Future, flicks it into the top left corner past OSM. An amazing solo goal. That's the second solo goal we've seen in this series. One was from Inferno. This one was a bit more impressive because he carried it past all three players intentionally and got past them on his own instead of them whiffing, which was amazing to see and a great way to end this game, Danny.
Oh, a great way indeed. And that is unusual with the scoreboard. 3 goals for Inferno, so does Pethy, and it is very much down to the saves being the difference maker. But Mayday, we have tied the series up, and it's practically best of 3 now. Where's it going to go after that?
It's going to go someplace amazing. From the plays that we've seen, I don't care who wins at the end of this. This has just been insane to watch, and I'm glad that I got to spectate it and cast it.
Amazing plays. The former top 120th player in the RLSR's qualifier, Mayday, is saying, and it is Fusher who tried to start quickly. OSM misses the ball, but he will rotate down. The pass doesn't work as well. BGB to the side. Inferno pops it over Fusher. It was an aerial play in battle, and the control now still favouring Wind and Rain. Inferno back to BJB. A pass into the opposition's half, but it's Snuff with an opportunity to flip. No, he goes underneath an OSM. Stood strong, waited patiently, and a pinch down to break down the line, but there's opening minute. No goals. Surely it's a slip in standards then, Mayday.
I don't think it is. I think it's just both teams have started actually respecting what the others can do to the right level, not over-respecting, not under-respecting each other, and they both know that they're extremely dangerous on offense, so they're just being a bit more careful on defense. And as well as that, if you're going to go into a 1v1 against OSM, you want to be sure that you're going to flick it over him or you're going to get the ball past him. It's going to be very hard to do so, considering he was top 10 in ones for the longest time.
One of the longest time, the quality at 5k. He played Mug in his own channel, but he's been outdone, outclassed in the 3v3 field there. 1-0, Wind and Rain.
Snuff just manages to slide it under Pethy. Pethy challenging a little bit too high. Can't actually push the ball away to the side. It's unfortunate for Yowzin. That's 1-0 Wind and Rain.
OSM to the kickoff. Pethy beaten Fusher. Very much required in the defensive work now for his own team. Snuff back to Inferno. A pinch. BJB will cut into the first man. OSM clears the ball down. Bit of oomph behind it too. Pethy pinches in Fusher up already. The pre-flip gang member himself living up to his name. OSM tries to find one of its own, but he's going to the ceiling. Does he fancy it from here? And he has an attempt that goes wide, and Fusher just putting the pressure. It's piling. It's now just been released, and it's a quick counter to Snuff. OSM scrambles into the line, and what did you have for breakfast, matey? Don't think it's quite as good as this.
I don't think anything I could have is quite as good as this. This game has just been one end to the other, and it's been insane on both sides. The offense has been incredible. The defense has been amazing. It's just one of those games you love to see, and Snuff with the doink into the bottom right corner. This, Danny, is why we love this game. At a hat drop, it can just change like that. 2-0 Wind and Rain. Can they hold on to it for the rest of the game?
Oh, can they? That's the major question as well. And that was the special case shot of the stream, you could say. But we, of course, snack on with another quick kickoff there, and OSM responds by moving the ball left to right in his own half. BJB drops it down. Fusher misses, but it's Pethy to Fusher straight down with a 1-2 play. But Snuff being the major man of the carry from Wind and Rain. The value player, but Inferno doing well enough into the defensive duties. Respect, as Mayday said, being the difference so far, but it's now the challenge now for Wazard to get back into the game. They are trailing 2-0 in game 3.
They are trailing 2-0 with 2 minutes left, Danny, but we saw last game they were 3-0 down and they managed to come back. Their offense can click just like that, and they can score as many goals as they want to. They just need to find that little spark. Pethy almost passed it back down to BJB, but gets the touch out to OSM. Can they carry this on, and can they score from it? What do you reckon, Danny?
Can they? Well, it looked like for a possibility, yes would have been the answer. No would have been reality. Fusher to OSM, and as Mayday was saying, could turn it on at moments, and it could have been glorious. But we will see that third goal come back. Question marks, perhaps.
Last game, they were 3-0 down with 2 minutes 30 seconds left. This game is 120. I think they're cutting it a bit close. If Wind and Rain can hold out for the next 40 seconds or score again, BJB with a long shot from his own half, guiding it in home. What a shot from him. I think this might be over and done, Danny. What do you reckon?
Well, I would say at this point, think about game 4, but let's hope for a bit of momentum if they can get one goal back. Is this a new strategy for a fake kickoff, Mayday? It just seems to be well executed there.
I have never seen that before, but it did work out in their favor, so hats off to them. This is it's been interesting plays from both sides, but I think Wind and Rain have really showed that they know they have what it takes to beat this team. They know exactly what the other team's trying to do at all times. BJB almost gets the flip reset goal, and that just there shows you how creative Wind and Rain can be and how good their offense has been so far.
Well, hard creative is the opposition. They try to pass and play, but it's 4-0 deficit in terms that they might not come back. But we will see Fusher and BJB slugging it out in the corner. Pethy had it to the backboard. OSM drops it down, but it's no more to the ground where BJB can get a flip reset, and the creativity, well, not quite as good as we were imagined. But OSM to Fusher! Oh, it's definitely not gone in. It's 4-0 with less than 30 seconds. It is gone.
What a beautiful goal from Inferno. Yet again, another doink goal. Snuff off the ceiling, passes it straight down. Oh no, he redirected it. My mistake. That's... Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about apparently. But it was a great team play from them, and what a shot from Inferno.
What a shot, and it is a very much done and dusted game number 3 as well, and this match point is now brooming into the background. OSM tries to put one on target, and Fusher quick shot down as well. That might make his montage on YouTube. You can of course find it on the social media, of course on Twitter, and you're gonna follow of course Dank Swan on Twitter as well, and of course Mayday himself as well.
That was a great goal from Future. His shooting accuracy, as we know, Danny, from the early days in RLI, has been amazing ever since he started playing the game. That right there was just one of his clinical finishes. If he can get more of those going in the next game, they might have a chance. But so far, all of the offense coming from this Yoza side has unfortunately either met a defender or been just off target. So hopefully, oh, OSM left the match. That's an interesting one, Danny. You gonna fill in for them?
Well, he could be changing the car. Well, as everybody knew, Fisher got all that shooting ability from me. Um,
As we all did, Danny.
um,
Danny coached us all. That's how we all got good at the game.
yeah, I just lost all the ability and it drained from me. It's more likely to change the car. Let's hope it's just is that as well, or just resetting the internet. But again, Fisher and Pethy not readying up. They're taking the full 60 seconds, so it could be a complete reset there. So
It could be indeed, but hopefully this Yowza. Oh, he is restarting. Okay, we got confirmation from Pat. He's restarting. This Yowza side in the first game was amazing. Everything that they wanted to do worked. Their passes were spot on. Their shots were spot on. In the second and third game, they seem to be a bit more hesitant with their shots, and it ends up leaving enough time for defender to come back. Unfortunately, so if they can just get the plays going a little bit quicker, a little bit better finishing, they could definitely make a comeback here.
definitely could make the comeback, but they are facing match point and of course elimination, single elimination here, of course, at the Dank Squad 3v3 tournament. But while that is the case, we do see a few friendly faces in chat. Calmalis is here, Newton Chill, as I said earlier, Priestley, and of course we do see Switch and Crisis himself, who is playing in the tournament. So we might see one or two of those in chat playing later on. But while that is the case, we do see no signs of Fisher joining straight yet, so it might take a small moment of time. But again, game 4 Mayday. Any predictions?
I think because the Yowza side, maybe OSM was having PC problems. Maybe he got a glitch that didn't put his frames up as high as they should be. Who knows? Hopefully, him restarting his PC also restarts his head and gets his shots on target and gets the ones plays going. Or the bumping plays, actually, because I played a six-man series with him yesterday, and his bumps are insane. You cannot dodge his bumps. So if he can get those going and just get the last defender out of the way and free the goal up for Future or Pethy, they have a serious chance at winning this and coming back, bringing it to game 5 at least.
Well, can't beat the bump. Will that be the difference maker? We will hopefully find out very much shortly. And speaking about the man himself, he's reset. We will restart. And in no more, we might see an elimination here for the £100 prize pool here at Tank Squad. Of course, the first inaugural game we have seen on stream, and it is straight to Pethy from the kickoff. Took a bit of time, but it got there. Inferno beaten by OSM. Cleared his head, as Mayday was said, and Pethy, quick flick, it's not as strong, not as accurate, and it has been, well, nothing but pathetic in the style of what we were expecting. But 30 seconds gone from this opening game 4, and it's still 0-0.
I think it's more so a fact of Wind and Rain are just going to try and hold them off because they know all they need to do is get that one goal and hold it, whereas the Yowza side is going to be pushing for everything because they want to show that they can beat this team and that they're the better players. But unfortunately, none of the passing plays and none of the shots have been quick enough yet. The Wind and Rain side have plenty of time to react to everything. Hopefully, the Yowza side can start picking up and playing a bit faster. What do you reckon, Danny?
Well, if they do play faster, will it take them out of the game? And that, well, pretty much puts Wind and Rain strategy out of this now.
It does indeed. What a shot from OSM from the halfway line. Unfortunately, none of the Wind and Rain guys rotated around the back post. They'd all gone around front to challenge the ball and hopefully stop. Oh, Snuff seems to have disconnected. That's interesting. But it was a great shot from OSM nonetheless. Beautiful placement. And hopefully this Wind and Rain side can score that 2 goals that they need now and just hold on to it for the win.
They'll hold on. Will it be enough, this one goal? BJB trying to put even a shadow of doubt in the defence there, but Fisher had enough, sends it down the line, but the man who we may have thought DC'd or aimed to stop, Snuff had the ball. Inferno beaten quite simply off it. Now BJB to Inferno. OSA passes and Fisher has demoed, but Pethy ran away from the ball, looking a bit of home comfort in his half for a moment, but Fisher into the middle. OSM beaten. It's BJB with the ball, and that is a quick recovery for all 3 members in the orange, trying to hold on to that 1-0, and BJB just sweeps the ball into the side, and it will remain 1-0.
Again, there's been some really nice passes from the Yowza side. The only thing is they're just a bit too slow. They're giving Wind and Rain just a bit too much time to react to things. They need to pick up the pace and start getting quicker shots, quicker passes, and they'll be able to beat this Wind and Rain side.
Is it going to be quick, but 2 fakes straight from OSM's technical book of skills does wonders. And Pethy, oh, another crossbar attempt from him, doing a fabulous work, hitting the woodwork. Anybody, of course, needs a support group for all the abused crossbars. We will have a helpline after the stream. But, of course, 2 minutes and 15. Wind and Rain with the advantage in the series. Down in game 4. Will they get this ball down to the line? And it will be Inferno linking up, and Fisher to the side will be enough for the moment, but it is looking unlikely as this count down on the clock.
Yeah, the wind and rain side have really been pent into their own half. They haven't had many opportunities in the offense. The Yauza side is very, very good at challenging the ball in midfield, but again, they're just a bit too slow where it matters, and that's the offense for them. As I say that, Fuser with a nice little slot home there. Great pass from Pethy, gets it around one defender, uses the back wall. Nobody else is there to defend. BJB was rotating back, and Fuser gets the nice little chip into the middle. Great goal from Yauza.
Great goal, and as of course Mayday was saying, of course, watch out for the OSM bumps that was happening into the background. And of course, it wasn't once, it was a few times. It's like OSM took no for an answer there and kept on asking. Rapped on the door, and speaking about the door being pounded, it will be Fischer's attempt. It goes high, snuff to the side. BJB with a quick 1-2. He has landed perfectly. It's now from the seal, and Pethy misses. Inferno believed. Fischer swan dived onto the ground there. Inferno taps the ball down. Pethy just near enough whipped at the ball. It's back again to Wind and Rain's half. BJB with the same clear to the same corner with a similar result. Fischer this time gets a touch, and Pethy with the save. OSM double commits, but it wasn't important overall. 45 seconds, 2-0. Wind and Rain chasing the game.
It really should have been an important double commit there. Inferno should have backed off just slightly so that he had more of a chance to recorrect his angle. Unfortunately, he followed the ball just a bit too closely and wasn't able to get that last shot that he needed just to bring this game to a 2-1. 25 seconds left, 2-0. What do you reckon, Danny? Is there a comeback being made or not?
Well, I would have said no, but we have seen game 2 providing the 4-3 scoreline and then 4-4. But another crossbar has been hit 10 seconds down. 2 goals is enough for this lead. Inferno had enough of us, and that sends it to a moment of hesitation.
Fuger with a very soft touch off the middle. I assume it was intended for OSM. Didn't get the touch that he needed. Inferno's able to capitalize, and what a shot from him.
The moment of silence, the dreaded kickoff. In this climate of 3 seconds to the backboard, hits the roof and down. Pethy to the side, keeping it up sportingly, and snuffing Inferno. It will drop down, and more importantly, we go from a best of 5 to a deciding game here at Tank Squad. Of course, the 3v3 inaugural tournament for the £100 being, of course, played here, and it is only round 2 as well.
If this is what's coming round 2, Danny, I can't wait for the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, and most importantly, that big final game for the £100. This has been phenomenal so far. Just cannot wait to get into the next couple of rounds.
Well, we will have the other rounds streamed as well. Of course, the bracket down below if you want it. Of course, the Discord join as well. Of course, get into all the action. And of course, you might see yourself on the stream. And OSM familiar, of course, on the biggest stages as well. Been around. DreamHack had a few attempts at that. But it is Inferno, the RLRS teams are slugging it out. Of course, did not qualify. They would have been playing, of course, on a different stream, you could say, but of course the better quality is here with BJB proven 1 or 2 plays like that, but Snuff to the opportunity. Pethy to the side, it's straight to OSM. Pethy back again, 1-2 in the back for the first link-up play in game 5, and Fischer hits the sidebar, and OSM doesn't hit it for the first time. It's 1-0.
And that's what I was talking about, Danny, right there. OSM gets a crucial demo on the third man. BJB can't get back in time, and it's a beautiful shot from him to put it in the top, just below the crossbar of the goal.
Oh, we were talking about the opportunities. He has got it this time around. It's much improved. And of course, if it was a parents' meeting, he would be happy with that. But BJB to the side. Snuff is there, tries to get a touchdown into it. OSM is waiting, so is Fischer for the pass. Doesn't link up. It's Pethy. Back again. Fisher will just drop off as that happens. He's been removed. Demo and Pethy with revenge bumped the man who was done the execution. He has become the jury as well. OSM to the backboard. BJP with a vital defensive clear. Fisher misses. We haven't said that as much tonight, but Snuff to the side gets the boost as Inferno plays it to him, and it's just held up into, of course, the opposition half. 90 seconds gone. 1-0 in the decider.
I think these demos are going to be really important in this game because both defenses are doing an amazing job when they're uninterrupted. They've all got the rotation down. They've all got decent amount of saves so far. OSM demoing that last man is what did it for them, and if they keep doing that and keep getting the last man out of the rotation, they should be able to score a bit more. Future, whoa, what a attempt at a shot there. Tries to come across from the left-hand side and just pop it above the defender. Can't get it though.
Oh, an attempt. You can almost imagine the comms going mad. And speaking about mad, it's probably frustration there with Inferno. Another demo has been pulled out. Pethy with a shot down as well. Of course, a few members from Pulse in that team. BJB to the side, ricochets away. OSM. Pethy tries to play to the wall. BJB not having it. OSM backing into his half. He was third man, needs to get a touch, did so wonderfully. Back again to him from a Pethy pass. They only got to the halfway line now, to the opposition's final third. Snuff sends it back with a compliment with BJB. Oh, it's near enough a waterfall down, as some would say. But Snuff, third man, not afraid to push when it matters most. But again, 2 minutes, this one goal being the only difference here in this last and potentially, well, decisive game, you could say.
You can really see the difference in this Wind and Rain side. They've got nothing to lose. They've got everything to lose now. And you can see it in their play. They're just diving at every ball. They're going for everything they can. They're trying to make something happen. But I think their downfall is they're going to go for too much and they're going to leave their net open for this Yowza side. The Yowza side has been a lot more reserved. They've only been going for plays they know that will work. And they've been sitting back a lot more and letting Wind and Rain kind of put themselves out of the game. What do you reckon, Danny? How do you think this one's going to end?
Well, it's going to end with at least one team getting one more goal than the opposition, I believe. But speaking about the attempt, it will be Wind and Rain having another attempt, and they haven't been as accurate, and that's going to be the downfall until then. But I believe, Mayday, I might be wrong here, but that one goal rule really does destroy this game sometimes.
Just slightly, yeah. But you get to see some amazing goals for that one goal. Like, every goal that we've seen so far in this series has just been top quality, either a team play or an amazing bump play. And as I say that, another great shot from OSM, putting it right in the top right corner. Just left so open in midfield, and this is what I mean. This Wind and Rain side is going all out, trying their best to go forward and get back for everything, and they leave themselves so open. OSM can pick and choose where he wants to shoot there. Great shot from him, 2-0 to Yowza.
To put even that into the quality of the shots, it was even top left. But this is a response so much needed. We talk about desperation. That gets them back within one with 34 seconds left. Do or die now.
That was an amazing follow-up from Inferno off of that kickoff, just getting the ball to tap the underside of the crossbar and fall straight in. Snuff was there to finish it. And again, another kickoff goal from Inferno. It just seems to be his thing, Danny. That was amazing.
Seems to be, but I mean, I'm quite disappointed here. We talked about his shooting ability, and that wasn't even top corner.
But it was a great finish and right where he needed to place it, because unfortunately both of the Yowza members went for boost there. I assume one of them might not have called that they were going for boost when they should have, but hopefully they can get that sorted out before this game goes to OT.
We had one in the series that was decisive, and that is so... Oh, it would have been gorgeous, would have been cruel, but it would have been just... It was a pop, side at the bar, right off the bar, and it didn't go in. And the clock counting down. One goal we talked about being the difference maker And this team surely will let this drop, but they won't. Wind and rain still trying to keep this ball alive. They know they have the pressure, they have the boost, but we have reached the dreaded OT once more.
The dreaded OT in the dreaded Game 5. Both of these teams must be feeling so nervous right now. It's not every day you get to play for a £100 prize pool, is it, Danny?
Not that often, especially in the European region as well. There's, well, as rare as it comes, but we will see if this opposition, Wind and Rain, getting a bit of just reserved in the medicine, dished out this time. Demos coming out, favouring them, Fisher to the side. But Mayday, we talk about this being dreaded. Pethy looks absolutely wonderful at this moment in time.
There is those players, Danny. They come once in a blue moon. The pressure makes them play so much better. I think Pethy is one of those players. He thrives on pressure. He loves these kind of situations, and hopefully we'll see it pull off from him, and he can help his team get the goal to secure this win to put them through to the next round.
Well, under pressure, looking down on you, OSM. 3-2 with a fabulous play, and even the top position. Oh, stunned by that.
I'm pretty stunned myself, Danny. That was an amazing double touch. It looked like the way he ricocheted off the ball after the first touch, it did not look like he could control himself and get himself back down. But it's OSM, of course he can. He hits a beautiful double touch to win the game for Yowza. They go through to the next round. Danny, how's your heart after this series?
Not too bad. I mean, at old age here, I mean, it's fluttering at this early time.
So, out of those two teams, Yowza has won it. They've gone through to the next round. They're going to be playing the winner of Ireland and UK and Tinnick. How do you think that's going to go?
I mean, on the quality of what we saw there, Ireland and UK will have some work to do, but oh, well, that was too tight to call, but we hopefully get the result of that one coming out. But speaking about results, we do see an upset in the bracket, though, Mayday.
We do we? Oh, we do indeed. Jeez. Hang on one second. Let me change the bracket. Washed Up Boys has managed to beat Drama Alert 3-0. That is very unexpected. Game 1 going 4-1 to Washed Up Boys. Game 2 4-3. Game 3 3-1. That was our dark horse for this tournament, Danny. What do you think went wrong there?
Caster's curse, or I picked them. Seems to be the issue of every tournament I pick.
We're sorry, Gia. We didn't mean to pick you for a dark horse. Our apologies. Uh,
Uh,
but every other game bar. Oh, have you seen the other upset, Danny?
yes, I have indeed, and it is pretty much what we were expecting at some point, and it was pretty much a close game, but I did it was 1-0 all 5 games, though, Mayday.
I think they might have manually reported that. I'm very interested to see the actual scores. Calzify, Boy School Q, and Kai have beaten iCash 1, Cynical, and Noah, which is Comrade Gaming. That is, I mean, it's a team of three very good individual players, but you would have expected Comrade to come out on top considering they've been playing together for a while now, and they're a very decent team, have been doing very good recently. What do you make of
Well,
that, Danny?
well, I was upset in the sense that we won't see seeing Comrade. I thought they may got to the semi-final stage, but again, quality does come out in Europe, and of course, upsets do happen. And speaking about that, we do have our game potentially getting started roughly here. It is, of course, decent, have already won 3-0, but again, Dutch Bim Bam is lurking in the bracket.
Decent, convincingly won 3-0. The first game was a bit rocky, 2-1. Then they ended up winning 5-1 and 6-0. They're going to have an abundance of confidence going into this next game. What do you think, Danny? Will it make a difference for them?
I would like to say it would give them a bunch of confidence, but so far my prediction was wrong in the last game in the sense of how many the series went. I mean, I may not know nothing at all, but, well, what do you think?
I think knowing the players that are on decent, well, knowing Switch and King J anyways, the two of them are very emotional players. If they're feeling good, they're going to play amazing. If they're feeling bad, they're going to play very poorly. That 3-0 sweep will give them a serious amount of confidence going in. They're going to be feeling very good as a team going up against one of the hardest teams in Europe, a team that almost qualified for RLRS or potentially the professional ball chasers who are Phoenix, Bruno, and Why Not Party. I only recognize one name there, and that's Bruno. But they could be coming up against either of those teams, and obviously they're going to be a very, very top quality team if they can get that far in the RLRS, or if they can be beaten by a team that didn't. What do you think, Danny? What do you reckon the score is going to be in that one, considering we're going to cast it?
I would like to say it's going the distance best of 5, but again, you talk about confidence. I don't know much about one of the teams as well, but again, we will, of course, hopefully get that pretty much the way we expected. But I do see, of course, and a few people in chat, we do see Mr. Blue Title himself, Kafafi, is here, and Cal TV. So it's nice to see a few of the big names in Rocket League coming out tonight.
It is indeed. And with that, we are going to take a short break, Danny, just to sort out some things in between games. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, if that's all right.
That's no problem. I hope you on the other side will be in around 2. Hello and welcome back to the Dink Squad 3v3 tournament as well. It's the £100 prize pool in the inaugural tournament as well. And of course, I'm in Danny Boy A2M. And funny enough, the man looking so serious, he's crossed his arm like he's the chase. And of course, the beast himself, it's Mayday.
Not a beast, Danny. Jeez, that's too far. I've only crossed my arms because it's fucking cold in my room. Well, I'm still wearing a jersey for some reason. I could have put on a hoodie. What do you think of the overlay, Danny? Do you like it?
It's not too bad, and since we got a little bit of time, we're just giving of course, the players a bit of a rest after a very tight series. There, do you want to walk us through who's the famous faces on, of course, the Cameron Gaming's or overlay here?
Well, the Comrade Gaming is just for the sponsor. The rest of them are the Dank Squad members. So above me in the top left of your screens is Noah. He is one of the admins of the Dank Squad. He's one of the founding members of Dank Squad. Below him is Crisis. Everyone loves him. Lovely guy. Below him, eating pizza, is Cash or iCash1, as many of you know him. In the bottom left is Cynical. He is, I believe he's in bed in that photo as well. It was a great photo to pick. The top right over there is Switch. Below Switch is Freecant. Below Freecant is Milo. Milo's another one that helped set up the Dank Squad tourney. Below Milo is Polar, the Renegade Elite player and also ESL Monthly Champion. So a few new faces for you from the scene, Danny.
Few new faces, and we do see a few in chat. I believe Jo is there, and of course we do see, of course, BJB, of course, weaving in after that very tight series, but a very commendable comeback at some points. Priestley is back in the chat as well. Lovely to see, and of course, a few comments has been greatly appreciated as well. But while it is the case, Mayday, first time casting as well here. So have you been enjoying your run as well?
Oh, I've been loving it. It's been great to cast alongside you, Danny. You made it very easy to actually get a few words in, whereas I know some people are a bit harder to get along with. Me and you get along pretty well, so I hope everyone in the chat's enjoying it as well, because I have very little idea what I'm doing. Danny's been coaching me in between on the breaks.
Yeah, of course, all of us coming back, all those teams from Rocket League Ireland, the Lean Irish Rocket League Discord for all the things, and of course, my retirement from casting not long away. So I hope you enjoy my last couple of casts while they're still around. Just might as well tell you, seeing that's in the break while the other ones are enjoying the popcorn and all the free snacks in the background. But well, it is the case. We do have a bracket and, of course, a few upsets as well. So we might as well discuss that. But before we do, um, do you want to talk about the match we saw on stream, or would you want to go with the upsets earlier into the matches?
I think we should go through the bracket first, and then we can talk a bit more in depth on the Yowza Wind and Rain game.
Fair
I think
enough.
might be nice just to get the games out of the way, talk about Wind and Rain, then go into the next game that we have planned. So Dutch Bim Bam is 3-1 Professional Ball Chasers. It's kind of an expected result, Danny, would you say?
It's one where it was heading that direction, but again, Dutch Bim Bam, their quality team, we expected some kind of result from them tonight. So they could be in the finalists, but again, it all depends on the quality of the match.
It does indeed. We've gone through Washed Up Boys beating Drama Alert, which is a big upset for tonight. And apparently just then, Washed Up Boys have also beaten B1, Danny. 3-0 as well. They are on an absolute tear through this tournament. 4-3, 5-1, and 3-2.
They might have to rename themselves as Still Playing Boys at this point. But of course, it's one of those ones Kieran really wanted to play, and of course asked if he can be streamed. There you go. All you have to do is reach the semi final, and your wish is my command.
He's already reached the semi-final. He's the first team to make it through. That's very, very quick as well. That was must have been very, very quick games. Not a whole lot going on in them. It's very impressive from that team. That team, I think everyone's underrated them slightly, and they've really shown up today. 'Cause they were the lower ranked team in seeding against Drama Alert. They were the lower seeded team against B1, which is Polar, Crisis, and Virus. And they've managed to upset both teams with sweeps. They haven't dropped a game yet. Kieran said if we're talking about him, he loves us, by the way, Danny.
as we were going on with the bracket,
Danny, give him a
uh,
bit of love back. Don't be rude.
yeah, of course, Kieran, he is one of the greatest players. Of course, got up to solo standard. He was ranked 20th, of course, in this current season. So, yeah, I'm just jealous, just bitter and twisted.
Just the bitter old man
Oh,
from
you know,
season one.
sorry, sixth now, and of course, second place from Insomnia 63. I mean, that's credentials, that's a CV glittering, and of course, maybe a grand finalist here today, squad.
Grand finalist and possibly winner of £100. Who knows? They've already upset two of the bigger teams in this tournament. They've also got to come up against either Ireland in the UK or Yowza, and we've seen how good Yowza can be. So, do you reckon they're on the same level as them, Danny?
I'm giving no comment on that because the last time I did, it didn't go down very well. But I would have to fancy Ireland and UK in that sort of series. I don't know why, but it's just Yowza wasn't playing as clean as we've seen them before. We saw moments, but again, we'll talk about that more in depth. But again, we do have the rest of the bracket to look at this current stage as well.
We do indeed. We are still waiting on Dutch Bim Bam and Descent, so how about we talk about that game that we just watched, Danny? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, we were hinting on the possibility of course, the passing plays. There was lovely touches as well. I mean, we saw OSM Pethy getting a few of those brilliant shots, but again, OSM's shot from the pass from Fisher, that was a moment. That was a lovely touch as well.
There was a lot of great passing plays in that series. It really showed the quality of all the players that are on both sides. I think for me, the standout player was definitely Snoffmill. He put the Wind and Rain team on his back for 2 out of the 5 games. Did amazing and played probably the best in the server, bar I'd say Future or OSM in 1 or 2 games. What do you reckon, Danny? Who was your top player of that series?
For once, Mayday, I was going to say I agree with you, but I'm going to say no.
You're just gonna be controversial.
I mean, the best player on the pitch was a stationary object. It was the post.
I believe it was the crossbar actually. They hit the crossbar more than the post.
All right, it was wooden and
It
it didn't
was.
go in. I'm sitting there, sir, going, "This is going in." No, it's not. This is going in now. No, it's not. This is now going in. Oh, come on. It's just one of those days you know it's meant to go in, and it's just a rejection.
Well, as we all know in the Rocket League community, the best goalkeeper in the world is either the crossbar or the post. You just can't help but hit it at least once a game, I'd say. What do you reckon, Danny? A bit more than once a game?
Who are we talking about? As in the players generally, or
Oh, me and you.
oh, at least 70.
Oh, definitely. It looks
Uh,
like our next game is checked in as well, Danny. So it was good timing.
it has. Once we will commence, we have got the lobby details, but well, you of course have the bracket at 1 point up, and of course we will get into the game. Anybody specifically in the players that you're looking out for?
In the next series, I want to see Switch do well because I played with Switch a couple of times and I really like the guy, and I want to see King J do well because I used to be on the team with him in Glacier and lovely lad. It'd be great to see them get a result on the Dutch Bim Bam side.
Well, will they get the result? That's going to be the major thing. Of course, best of five as well in this course at the quarterfinal stages here at the Dynamic Squad tournament. But of course, it could go any way. So, do you think it's going to distance, or is it just going to be one of those situations? It could go pretty much a 3-0 sweep.
I think it definitely has the potential to do a 3-0 sweep, especially considering we all know how good that Dutch Bim Bam side can be. The only question is, can they be as good as they've been with Justice with Flawless in instead? Because they have got Flawless in instead of Justice for today's tournament. It'll be interesting one to see if they can play just as well with flawless. Hopefully they can, because that team, when they pop off, they play absolutely phenomenal. But what do you reckon, Danny? Who do you reckon is gonna take this game?
I got a fancy Bim Bam on this one, especially the Dutch side. Fabulous team, seen them win. It was the G20 at one point. Yes, with a proper full roster, they're playing with the sub. Even still, it is one of those cases as well. It could go, but while that is the case, we do have one major point. We have the lobby created. One team's here, one joining very much shortly. But that does mean in chat as well. Your predictions here against Decent or Dutch Bim Bam, of course, here at Common Gaming. You can follow them on Twitter down below. And of course, all the major tweets, of course, coming from Mayday, they are down below. You can, of course, follow that. The bracket command, of course, if you want to have a sneak preview of what's coming up as well. But while it is the case, Clover and, of course, Treefork sent 3-0, but in both different directions. Well, the chat has been split fairly on that one, Mayday.
I mean, I think both teams definitely have the potential to take this game, so I can see why they're a bit split. But I reckon it's slightly in Bim Bam's favor.
Well, slightly as well, but while the other teams coming up, I'm just glad I didn't actually create the lobby in this one, and we might have a story time with Danny and maybe the next break. But while it is the case, 6 players, a dream of a prize pool, and maybe Rocket League glory. Counting down on a best of 5. The first kickoff at the quarterfinals underway with Switch doing quite decent, but it's Mike Boy with the ball, with control. A quick straight down Switch is there. He has, of course, pedigree on the Rocket League, levels of skill, and the Dutch Bim Bam living up to their names, but does not get the opening goal there. And of course, Kings to the side will get a touch. 30 seconds gone by. No major kickoff goal, but control straight to the Dutch Bim Bam side.
That's one thing about this Dutch Bim Bam side is they are very, very, very good at keeping pressure. And as I say, that shot sneaks one in beside the post. Unfortunately, one of the Dutch Bim Bam members, Mike Boy, just misreads the bounce off the backboard because it came out so fast. Shots left with an open goal. What a finish from him. Slides it right next to the post.
Well, gets it in. The deadlock broken in game 1. The first goal, nerves surely settle down here. Team decent. Now Switch with the ceiling. Shots is there in the ceiling. Suddenly Kings with a pass and play into the middle, but it's Fuglis at best, and Switch with a thumper of a shot. 4 minutes and 5 seconds, and the Dutch Bim Bam are already on the ropes.
This decent side has really shut us up quite a bit. Their shots have been accurate, powerful. Mike Boy couldn't do anything to get out of the way of that. It was always going to dunk into the net. The decent team is showing why they're a contender to win this entire tournament. Really good performance from them so far. Hopefully they can keep it up. It's only been the first minute, Danny.
Only been the first minute, and we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3 goals in the minute 2, and Mike Boy with a long distance top right of a shot corner. I mean, there's accuracy, but that was just decent, you would say.
It was very decent. It was an amazing accuracy from that far away to get it right in beside the post. Hopefully he can pull off a few more like that and bring them back into this game, make this series even more interesting.
Interesting. Thao to the side, Make Boy to the middle, drops it straight down. King sweeps in. Thao with another shot. Shot, gets a goal. It's a shame it will be credited to Thao. It was an OG, and it's simply tied to a piece.
It's only been a minute and a half, Danny. What is this game? So many goals, so little time. Hopefully this keeps going because they've been amazing shots, and I'd love to see more of them. 40. Why did Mike Boy say 40, Danny?
Maybe 40 shots, or maybe it's a drug test. Maybe they're just pumped up with steroids and going with quality at the moment. Well, another distance clear. Kings to the side, Make Boy into the middle, Thao to the side, Kings with the clear. Flawless will his defence be here. Shots gets it over and Make Boy rotates in. Thao and Make Boy links up with a defensive play. Passes into the middle and the Dutch Bim Bam going too quickly for themselves and switch. Flicked it in lovely and this control pace and play from Team Decent is doing well enough, but it is 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. It remains 2 goals apiece.
This has been an amazing display of skill from both sides so far. Dutch Bim Bam has shown why they did so well, why they've done so well in the past year and a half between their ESL wins, between their oral arrest play-ins, and they've just shown why they've stuck together. They're improved season after season and they've gotten so good. But this decent side is showing as well why 3 decent players can make a very good team on very short notice.
Well, very short notice. Will they get a P45 and sent to the retirement bin? Oh, it's been a long time since I've said that. Oh no, I've already forgot my retirement. Anyways, we'll see Thao to this. Of course, the great players made of course, top 128 in the last RLR's qualifier. Is, of course, the analyst here, and we do see it being a stalemate currently here, and Thao just controlling the play. Nothing much seems to be splitting the 2 teams apart.
I think it's just a case of both teams really respecting what the other team can do offensively and sitting back when they need to, getting the saves when they need to, playing it safe on defense, and then going all out on offense. As far as I'm aware, nobody's going to break the deadlock just like this unless someone just allows a goal to sneak in beside them or can't get there in time. But I feel like a goal is coming soon, Danny. What do you reckon?
Coming soon! Oh, that is a 7.5 and a moment of brilliance there. But this from Team Decent, a quick counter to the counter from the counter as well. But less 90 seconds counting down to 60. Flawless to the top right with Mikey Boy looming into the middle. No, I don't think we're going to get a goal anytime soon.
Eventually he gets back to the question. I think it's just been a great display of skill so far from both teams, and shots with the open net. The pass out from the Dutch Bim Bam defender, which is Mike Boy. He didn't have any other options, tried his best to lob it to the side, just couldn't get there. Shots with a great finish to an open net. Unfortunately, it's a mistake from the Dutch Bim Bam that makes them concede. It's not anything amazing from one team, and Mike Boy has left the match.
Well, unfortunately, I believe the rules he has to play on with a certain situation 3-2. And he has rejoined, no damage control, just gets a maybe position very much fortuitous as they are required. It's been cleared down the lane, and there's Mike Boy hovering around the ball straight from the DC. Shots, however, with a counter, flicks into the middle. Thao's there, Flawless with a counter, passes it straight up and a double commit. Thao, Mike Boy is there, but Flawless with a crossbar hit. Shots to the side, and 10 seconds remaining. The Dutch Bim Bam turned on the style, but left the oven too long. It's burnt and overcooked.
I think so far this has really been a game of shots against Tho. It's who can create the better offensive chances, and unfortunately for Dutch Bim Bam, Shots was the better of the two in that one game of this series. But we still have at least 2 more games to go. See if Decent can sweep them, or see if Dutch Bim Bam can make that comeback.
Well, it is a case, can they come back? Of course, we're just asking the players, is everything all right? And it is indeed, and we will get all serious. Just want to make sure everything is all right for the players. We don't mind taking a few extra minutes to make sure the setup is, of course, all perfect. But again, in that situation, Mayday, I know you've been there yourself. What happens? Is it just as simple as it's the case, restart and forget about it, or just get on with it?
I think for Dutch Bim Bam, it's just restart, forget about it. They know how good they can be. They know how good they've been in the past. These guys can just take a breather, take a game, take that first game, put it on the chin, go into the next one as strong as you can, and come back. It's extremely hard to do so, but these guys have been in that position so many times that they should be used to it at this stage.
Oh, despicable! No! Send him off, mate boy! We were just praising the ability of getting that, and you broke. Oh, That was just rude. If anybody didn't see, the two cards was literally in a stalemate, and Mike Boy, I believe, broke it there. But anyways, oh, I'm disgusted by that as an old-time player. But shots is there. Theo is middling. Switch gets away. Theo, it's almost like a pinball machine there in the Dutch Bimba side. They get away with one. But it's King to the side of shots. They're moving it down, laterally down the field. Switch trying to redirect it. Mike Boy's not having it, and he gets another defensive touch, which was vital. 1 minute gone. Goalless in game 2. It really is a momentous swing here coming for Team Decent.
I'm still in shock over Mike Boy breaking rule number 1, Danny. For all the older players out there, you know what rule number 1 is, and you never break it, no matter what, even if you're in a tournament. It's despicable, isn't it, Danny?
Sorry, rule 1, we don't talk about what rule 1 is.
You should just know what rule 1 is, Danny. That's the point. Anyway,
Well,
you can see that the pace of the game has increased so much just because Dutch Bim Bam want to get this off to a good start. They want to get that first goal in, and everybody on the pitch is keeping tempo, which is very hard to do with this Dutch Bim Bam side because they're so fast when they want to be.
So fast as well, and the overlay showing what is capable between the two sides. And will another notch go on to, of course, Team Decent, who picked up the victory, but shots getting the ball down to the side, flawless into the middle. A pass will do. The Dutch Bim Bam say, moving it down, switch back down. Theo with a air dribble play, controls there, shots beaten, ball straight down, and Kings with it clear. It's straight to the halfway line, even better into the corner as he puts the pressure on. The pass surely is the option. Doesn't connect to the ball. Half of the game still to go, and the Dutch Bim Bam been held left by this Decent side who has surely just got the goal, but only just.
It was an unfortunate miss from shots, but luckily King J had pushed up just enough to get this goal. Dutch Bim Bam defense nowhere to be seen. Flawless was the only one back. I think it's just a case of simple overcommits from the team. Tho has been double committing quite a bit between Flawless and Mike Boy. I think they just need to get their comms right, get the calls right, make sure that each player knows who's going for what, and they can do a lot better than they've been doing.
Well, this is a calling to the crossbar. Send help. It's been hit twice there in the same part as well. Near enough identical. Theo been blocked by Switch. It's to the side. Shots again. Misses. First time we've said that in a while. Flawless outplayed, out-dribbled. Theo this time not. Mike Boy straight and pacey. Switch beating Theo to the side. It's Kings all alone. Mike Boy leaves it as shots comes in. Sweeps the ball away. Mike Boy with a pinch. It just goes near any more further to the halfway line as the Dutch Bim Bam gets the siege created. Can they keep it up though?
They have sown the right seeds, as you said, Danny. They've got the offense started, they've got it going, they've got some good passes. The only thing is there's no third man to follow up. Now, Flawless was just a bit too far back, couldn't get there on time and couldn't take the shot. Mike wasn't sure if he should go for it or not. As I say that, Mike and Flawless with a beautiful team goal passes it around one of the defenders. Nothing that Decent side could do there. King J just got drawn in by Flawless, and what a finish from Mike.
Well, we were seeing passes players in the last. You have picked up with at least one in this series. Maybe not as spectacular, but is important. Tied now, one apiece. As King to the side, a wave dice to shots, drops it straight down. Theo is there, and a man is lurking. His name is Mike Boy, but Switch was there. He gets a pass, of course, from shots. Switch followed it up as well. Theo to the side, Flawless straight down to it. The Dutch Bim Bam with a counter away from their net. But it just died for a moment as well. Switch will get a touch to safety. And there's all that excitement as well. No goal was developed. It is still one apiece.
It's been such a good game so far. The only thing that has been stopping this Dutch Bim Bam side is this amazing defense being put on by this Decent side. And again, at the opposite end, Dutch Bim Bam have been stopping every chance that Decent have tried to put on since their first goal. It's just complete and utter guessing game as to who's going to score next, Danny.
A complete guessing game. It's chaotic. Almost at some teams, it feels like there's 4 players on the pitch for both of the 2 teams. And speaking about a player, Flawless was removed. Mike Boy gets a pass in the middle, shots missed. Theo, had an opportunity, but it got tucked away from him there. But Flawless is there, misses. King sees an opportunity, sniffs it. Oh, Switch with an opportunity. It goes away, and Mayday, we reached another OT.
There's been so many OTs tonight. It's been amazing to see, though. These last few minutes of these games are what make people so interested in this. If you've ever been in an OT yourself, you know how annoying it is to play. You know how much your heart's going, and you know that these players are feeling the exact same way, especially when there's £100 on the line. It's got to be feeling intense for them. Hopefully they can get through it and get a goal out of this. I don't know who's going to score next, Danny. Do you have any idea?
I haven't got an idea. Chat, do you have an idea? Here at the Dank Squad 3v3, sponsored by, of course, by Comrade Gibbon, and Flawless gets the goal, and it will be 1 apiece in the series.
The Dutch Bim Bam sub gets an amazing angle just to put it behind the decent defender. What a shot from him. All credit to him. Tho had a decent pass, but Flawless made that work. What a game from these two teams.
Whew. Moments like that is what we play Rocket League for. Just don't know the quality is oozing between players. Of course, the players just hovering as well, and of course, nothing better seeing that little yellow bar filling up. It's like a battery being charged. But will they get, of course, the 3 that's required to get into the semi-final? We see one team's already lurking into the upper bracket anyway. But another kickoff here in Game 3.
So, 1 apiece for each team. We've got a best of 3 remaining. What do you reckon, Danny? Who's going to be the better side at the end of this? Who do you think has been more consistent throughout these first 2 games?
Well, personally myself, I would say, of course, Team Decent, Switch doing a lovely game of control, getting the play, allowing shots to get the goals, and King cleans up when necessary. But the pace, however, from the Dutch BIM side has been great. It has been wonderful. And, of course, played a role in this chaotic series that has developed. But again, Mayday, it could have gone either way.
It very much so could have gone either way, and I'm afraid for once I'm going to have to agree with Danny. As Shots puts in another goal, I was about to say I'd agree with Danny that Decent seemed like the more consistent side. Switch with a great pass down to Shots. Shots barely getting that one in after Flawless barely makes a save. What a play from this Decent side, and they've been showing this kind of quality throughout the last 2 games. Hopefully they can keep it up and get this win.
Get the win. 1 goal there. Will they fancy a second one? And by the answer, leaving the ball alone will be a no. Theo to the side, drops it down. The Flawless, but the shot's wide, closer to Pluto than the net there. But again, another opportunity. Shots with an excellent keeping of the ball away from the opposite there. But again, Mike Boy straight using the ball. Switch with a very much keep the ball as close to the roof as possible. But the 90-second mark in this opening sort of play, and that's the equalising goal in Game 3.
Yet again, it's just that midfield pressure from this Dutch Bim Bam side. Tho gets the touch down to Mike. Mike pops it up for Flawless, and Flawless pops it over the last defender left for Decent. This is why they're such a hard team to play against, Danny. It's just because they constantly have pressure. You can't get past them when they're on their game, and it's just amazing to watch.
Amazing to watch, and as Mike Boy and Theo links up for another moment, a back pass, but look at this. Shots is there, 1, 2, bounces, a hook shot was developing into a very much dangerous, a damaging shot that would have taken the hearts of the Dutch Bim Bam side. But again, King to the side, shots with the pass, it's into the middle, Switch is lurking, and that's, oh, the ball must be made of butter, squeezed in once more, 2-1.
Indeed it must be, Danny. I think that was a pinch between Mike and Switch. It looks like it's going to glitch out to the left, but Switch just managed to come in with enough momentum, enough pace to push the ball past Mike Boy's car, and it's come out 2-1 for this Decent side. They're looking really, really good on the offense. Their defense could work a little bit better. Their midfield presence needs to be stronger against this Dutch Bim Bam side if they want to keep up their winning ways.
keep their winning ways. And as we look on for a moment of inspiration, the Dutch say in the orange, as a reminder, if anyone isn't watching directly, and of course might be using us as a radio. They have an opportunity in Shots and Kings. 1-2 gets the ball away. Shots keeping the ball. It's almost like gymnastics there. He was on the floor rolling himself to the ball, desperately flinging himself at it, and got away with the save. They had a moment of clearing, but this half-time approach, the Dutch Bimba side, breathing down ever so much and still trying to get the second goal.
Again, it's just the pressure that these guys have is phenomenal. They can keep any team in their own half. If you're not ready for that, if you don't have the boost, if you can't play on defense with zero boost, you are going to struggle against this side. But Shots showing that he's fully capable of defending against these players by himself with no boost. And King J's managed to come off the backboard to make that crucial, crucial touch to help Shots get the little bit of a clear he needed to push it away from Flawless. Was amazing defense on their part. They do need to conserve their boost a little bit better because Shots challenging that last one with zero boost was very, very risky. If Flawless was in a slightly better position, he could have scored from it. But hopefully they rectify that the next time they're on defense.
Rectify. Oh, I think they have decided to destroy the idea and use as much boost as possible for that play as well. 3-1 and 1 minute 38. I think it's a little bit too late to say it's all over.
A little bit too late or a little bit too early, Danny? You've still got 1 minute 30. You've still got enough time to score 2 goals for this Bim Bam side. They just need to get their passing right and they need to get their shots on target. For once, I haven't seen this in a while, but the Dutch Bim Bam side is actually being trapped in their own half for the last minute or so. And it's phenomenal to see that players are adapting and players are getting better constantly throughout the series. Last series, they struggled with the pressure. This series, they seem to be thriving with the pressure that the Dutch Bim Bam side puts on decent.
Putting the pressure, and it will be Thao the Make Boy to get one of their own. They were trapped as Mayday was even pointing out and alluding to the possibility that they might be struggling with the adaptability that Decent was putting on. Mike Boy again straight to the side, a pop up, but again the boost conserve not doing well enough, and the pass like that destroys the team. And as I said earlier, I think it's all over in this one.
It's a lovely little team play. King J's off the wall to Switch. Switch passes it into King J's again. King J's with a little pop over Flawless. Flawless just can't reach it. What a play from this decent side. They're really showing they're here to play. They're here to win this tournament. Hopefully we get to see more of this, Danny.
Well, we will at least have one more game left in this quarter-final stage. Best of 5 here at the Dank Squad Conrad Gaming Tournament. Of course, they are sponsoring here the £100 prize pool. Oh, it could be a tasty prize. Players have been speaking about what they're doing, and I heard one of them might buy themselves a controller just in case they break their main one. But Theo to the side, putting the time and effort, tries to develop, tries even harder. But this one play goes awry. 4-1. This game will do, and Theo has left early. And I don't think he's going to be quite happy to find out he's still got one more game.
I think he knows that. I think he just needs to change something up. They obviously feel like it's not working. What they're trying to do, it just doesn't work without justice. Flawless has been an amazing sub. He's got 4 saves, he's got 1 goal. He's always been in the places he needs to be. It's just this decent side have had so much pressure, so many shots on the net, and every single one of their shots are so clinical that you just can't fault them for it.
Can't fault them. And of course, shots in chat, I believe you can see it as well, saying Scarp incoming. And of course, well, we have that small possible interlude that is coming as well. If you're going to troll or throw the last game, what car would you pick in this scenario? And Mayday, I've seen a few people my time would pick the Scarp, maybe Proteus even.
Oh no, Danny, I've got to go with the good old favourite, the Cronovi car from season 1. You have to go with the Paladin if you're going to throw. 100%.
Hasn't Crow been throwing his career quite literally from season 1 though?
Exactly. So if you know you're going to throw, you go with the Paladin.
Well, fair enough. It's been a harsh critic and crowd, and of course, well, it is the case. The clock has been ticking down. Team Decent, match point scenario here. They have one more game before the semi-final. Book their chances in here. The contenders are now building up for a one more game at least, and as this is the case, Mike Boy in the Batmobile maybe lacking a bit of length, and he has extended the opportunity into a goal.
Maybe this is the change they needed. Maybe the change in card changes their mentality. They go for things that might necessarily not work, but that time it worked beautifully for Mike Boy. Great shot from him, great read. Hopefully they keep this up and make this series a little bit more interesting. Maybe go to Game 5. Let's pray for it, Danny.
Praying for it, and that might be a dangerous conclusion, even suggest at this point. I think there might need to be a lot more than just one at this point. Praying and hoping and missing just not seem to be working for decent at the moment, but the Dutch Bim Bam won't care or matter. They're up in at least one goal scenario. Switch to the side. Straight drop down. No flip reset there. And Theo, it's the dominance there, but again, the Batmobile being used to perfection there. But again, 1 minute gone. One goal being the difference. Game 5 could be approaching as well.
It's been a very interesting game so far. It seems that the change in car has just made Mike and Tho that a little bit faster. Possibly just because of the change in mentality. They seem to be able to get the ball a bit quicker. They seem to be getting their hits a bit better. Who knows? Maybe it's the change they needed to win this game.
Well, chains could be good, or will it be a placebo? Will it fail? If it is being useful, shot straight down. Kings is there, a bump attempt there to Mickey Boy, who came from the roof of his own net to get the save. Does so, keeps it at that 1-0. The counter was developing, and it will continue. It just slow down for the Dutch Bim Bam, and we talked about a drastic pace of change too. Not soon, they will restart the play, but it has not worked out so great until then. 2-0.
That was a very interesting passing play. It seems like Flawless missed his flip reset. Toe snipes Mike Boy even though he was in the air, and it pops the ball up just enough to get over the last defender for this decent side. It was a very nice goal, very good team play. Don't know how calculated that it would have been, Danny. What do you reckon?
I'm not even going to presume what was going in their heads at that point. Thought the pass outfield was the better option, but again, that's why I'm in the custom booth. Switch to the side from a short pass. It was going well. Hard calculate, will this play be with 2 minutes 50 on the clock? Shot with another block. Switch will beat by Theo, straight down to the middle. King to the side, shots into the middle. A passing play from Team Decent, but look at this, it's been undone and the knots are being twisted around them by, of course, Theo and Flawless in that play. Half of the game and a triple demo came out to play, and Team Decent has responded in their corner, their side, and their opposition does so too. No major damage or confliction has occurred.
I think the Dutch Bim Bam boys this game have really come out and shown what their team's about, what they want to do. They want to take control of this game, they want to take control of the series, and they're using demos, they're using their speed, and it's working really well for them. They haven't conceded yet, they've been really good on defense. If they keep this up, it's definitely going to go to a Game 5.
Oh, definitely. If it gets kept up. I think Team Decent has heard you, and Flawless couldn't get it. Mighty Boy beaten. Theo was left watching, going, oh no, Team Decent is coming back. 2-1, 1 minute and 53 remains.
It was an amazing shot from King J, but yet again, Caster's Curse coming back to bite the teams. Unfortunately, I decided to go on the side of Dutch Bim Bam for this game, and I apologize, guys. It's my fault for the Caster's Curse. Hopefully that it doesn't affect them too much after that one goal.
Oh, one goal could be the difference. Could it be enough to send them out? Well, Switch requires at least 2 more before that becomes the possibility. Kings gets a touch, Switch just stood, held his ground, didn't know whether the attack to bump or just even rotate into the defence there. Theo gets the pop straight over, Kings to the side, shot will come back in. Theo gets the pass to the side after a Mikey Boy miss. from the Batmobile. Is it now playing into the head? Is Team Decent? They've been rent-free in Dutch Bim side's half now. 1 minute will remain. The 60 seconds could be crucial.
It could be indeed. All Decent needs to do is get one goal to get even more inside the Dutch Bim Bam guys' heads. Hopefully, Dutch Bim Bam can hold on to it and we can get an amazing Game 5 out of it, but you never know with these teams. So far, Decent have definitely been the favourites to win this.
Could be the favourites, and that's rolled so ever much gentle. And look, every blade of grass there being covered by the ball. Shots was shadowing it as well. Not even alone at going close for an epic save. Not taking the opportunity. Not even a chance. But Theo will look at this opportunity. A 1v1 against Switch. He must be gleeing with joy. But Flawless gets in to help. Shots is in two. The cavalry has came back with recovering recruits. And they're just holding out. Shots with a counter now. Pops it over one. Theo and Flawless is there. This lead of one goal could be enough until Switch's shot goes awry. It had an opportunity. This ball will hit the ground, and this will go to the dreaded Game 5.
Second game on stream, second Game 5. These games have been absolutely phenomenal so far, Danny. What do you reckon? Who's looking like the favourites going into the last game? Who's been your... Well, we won't say that because the Caster's Curse has already affected one team. Who do you think has been the best player so far?
The best player so far, I believe it's been the Crossbar once again. But actually, on a serious note, I have to say, Switch controlled the pace, done well, got on with the job. But as we've been maybe potentially having a Caster Curse effect as well. Come on, chat. I see you've been talking, I've been seeing what you've been saying. Why aren't you supporting your teams here? Come on! Approaches a decider once more. We've had one previous. This is only the quarter-final stage as well. One game decides it all. Will it go into an OT to make it a one-goal game? But it will be Flawless and Theo's potential. And that's an epic start. 5 seconds is all required. And Team Decent might be Team Awesome.
King Jays with a great pass down, Switch with an amazing bump, accommodating his teammates, and Shots with a simple finish into the right. That was a great team play. It was a bit too aggressive, but it ended up paying off for them. They really shouldn't be doing that too often, but in this scenario, it was okay.
Oh, just okay, not even decent. I think Mayday is not impressed. Top 128 this man was at one stage. Switch to Kings at one point. Shots is already in the air. And Kings gets a touch at the midfield, but nothing developed from that. Switch from his own pass to Theo. Mike Boy is there. Passes again into the midfield. Theo once more drops it down. The Flawless Shots is there to the backboard. Sweeps it to the side. Switch will be there. Mike Boy beaten, but Theo will slow it down, which is unusual for the Dutch Bim Bam, who's been beaten, and Mike Boy sweeps in like a last diving swan that keeps sure this remains only 1-0. But while we've been saying that, it is only a minute gone. Game 5 is surely a tasty taste for the eyes and, of course, savouring the players.
It's been amazing so far from both these teams. All 4 games have been phenomenal. This game has just shown every reason why both of these teams have a chance of winning this tournament. And you can't fault any single player here. Every player has been top-notch. I'd even say so far as I would not want to play any of these players in this tournament on the form that they're on. So they're pretty damn good, Danny.
Pretty damn good, and that is an equal here. Squad, of course, the inaugural tournament here, the £100 prize pool, and it's only the quarterfinal. Game 5 decided, and it's been tied up after 90 seconds and a little bit extra. And this is not even good form. This is excellent form here in the European region as well. Mike Boy now to the side, drops it down. Switch will just rotate into the post. He snuggled up to it. Kings had to help him out after a Theo shot, which ricocheted. It had an opportunity to slip in to break the deadlock, give the momentum straight back, but it's still tie between the two.
Wow. Okay, that was a complete twos play. I know these guys play a lot of twos together, Tho and Mike Boy. They're constantly queuing. Tho gets the 50 with shots. Mike Boy pre-jumps the 50 because he knows Tho's going to put it exactly where he wants to. What a goal from them. Great, great synergy there from the two players.
Well, 2-1 on the scoreboard with 3 minutes and even less now from the original play. The kickoff here, Mike Boy demo. The ball in firmly. The Dutchmen said they didn't have control until then, and switch with a dangerous back pass play. Now game switching shots linking up. The third try to come into the play, switches all alone with two Dutch players breathing down, trying to make them blink. The bar playing another factor in, Mike Boy failed to clear this team, and again tied 2 goals apiece.
Mike Boy just expected the hard shot from shots. I think even if he'd gone for the hard shot, that was not the right decision. He would have been backwards for the original save. I don't think he would have made it either way. Beautiful finish from shots. It was a great team play there. They were all ready for every single way the ball could have popped out off that crossbar. Phenomenal positioning.
Ooh, positions being vital, and switch with another slamming ball. 2 defenders even jump for that one. Respect is there, or is it pressure? Is it fear? Is it elimination breathing down? Mike Boy gets it clear. It's gone to the halfway line. Even a little bit more flawless was there. Kings gets past one. It's a 1v1 scenario. Theo straight bombs it down the field, living to the name. The Dutch man in orange with a counter-attacking attempt now. And this is an opportunity. 2 defenders this time from Team Decent require with the save. It's almost like they're almost fearing each other's shots.
But yet again, it's Switch coming in and making the crucial saves. Switch has been outstanding so far this series. I don't think I've ever seen him play this well. But as I say that, he rotates out and leaves the net wide open for Tho. Unfortunately, King J's got bumped away and could not get back in time. Oh no, King just jumped away. Switch got bumped at the end. Shots could not make it back. King J's could not make it back. It was unfortunate for the Decent. 3-2 to Dutch Bim Bam. Can't tell which way this one's going to go. Can you, Danny?
Well, the way this has been going and we've seen a fake kick-off, it looks like nobody knows what's going on at this point in time, Mayday. And as we've been saying that, we've had 2 comebacks. The third one surely should be likely with 90-odd seconds counting down to 60 after the play, the goal and the kick-off. I don't think anybody can say which way it's going.
I think all you can do now is guess, and you have an honest 50-50 chance of being right. Both of these teams have been outstanding. Both of these teams have shown why they came into this tournament. They came in here to win it. They've shown that they're good enough to win it. Unfortunately, one of them has to get knocked out, and I just can't call who it's going to be.
Can't call it. Single elimination here at the Dank Squad tournament at Conran Gaming, putting the money where the mouth is, so to speak, sponsoring it here. £100 on the line, a bit of pride as well. The team, of course, the Dutchman say, has been here, done it before. ASL, Gfinity, quality, pedigree, and they've got the lead. About 10 more seconds, and it could be enough to say goodbye to Team Decent. Shots a pass into the middle. Theo just remain quiet, dead. Silence. 3 seconds. A pass in field, and the Dutch Bim Bum say looks at another potential 4th goal, and it will go in with Team Decent's assistance, and they march on to the semi.
Shots with a great read off the backboard. Unfortunately, it's in the wrong net. Shots. I know he did it intentionally. It was an amazing game from both sides. Both sides deserve the utmost respect for how well they played. Just what a series.
What a series, and that is one that will go down to the record books. But, Mayday, we can't even say where the game was lost or what that tight, and it came down to that 1 goal being the difference, and apparently that extra goal at the end just was showboating how dominant that side was after they got it. But we do have multiple games still to come, so shall we get on with it?
We shall indeed. Let's go to the bracket real quick and see which games have gone where. We have Washed Up Boys winning 3-0 against B1. That happened before we went into the Dutch Bim Bam game. Ireland and the UK 3-1ing Yowza. They ended up Yowza won the first game 3-1, then lost 2-0, 1-0, and 4-2. So our number one seed is still in this tournament in the semi-finals against Washed Up Boys. Dutch Bim Bam we just saw beat Decent barely, and Top Shaggers 3-0 Gold Diggers, but better. 5-0 in the first game, 4-3 in the second, 3-2 in the third, which means that Cal, Distan, and Relating Wave go through to the semi-finals. They're going to be playing against Dutch Bim Bam. We also have to decide which game, Danny, that we want to see.
I think we should go for, well, since Ireland and UK Welsh boys, I say we go with that game, but we will, of course, see if that game has been started. Hopefully, we'll get an indication by one of the lads. Of course, we do see the Smash GG page, and by the looks of it, that match is about to start as well. So I think that's perfect timing. How the quarterfinals just wrapped up there.
It was indeed. And so far, there's been a couple of upsets, but 3 out of the 4 teams that are in the semi-finals we have predicted relatively easily got there. Top Shaggers are yet to drop a game. Dutch Bim Bam dropped a game to Professional Ball Chasers and 2 to Decent, so they're not going to be as confident going into that game. Washed Up Boys are yet to drop a game, and Ireland in the UK have already been in a 3-2 in the round 2 against Tinnick, who is one of the lowest seeds, and lost a game to Yowza. So hopefully we'll get to see some very good plays from both these teams.
Right. We will see some good games, but while it is the case, we, of course, will check that. So, we are here, and of course, I'm just going to message by one of the teams, and we will have this game underway very much shortly. We will be casting that game. And, of course, we will just make sure if they're creating the lobby, we don't want to make the same lobby twice just in case the players will join it in the wrong way. Well, it is the case. Right, they have created it, so we don't have to be waiting. And Mayday, I think you need a friend request there to join the party.
Do indeed. Hello.
uh, the moment of why every broadcast parks the bus and leaves it onto the stream, but makes it more interesting. Okay, let's apparently join the lobby. Please tell me I'm not putting a number in wrong.
Who knows, Danny?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past the teams if one of them put it in wrong, but I wouldn't put it past you either.
I remember the first time on G Finley, I made a mistake and it was a flip side tactics playing on it. And I was on match creation on that and I stuck it on ice hockey.
Would be definitely make for an interesting series, anyways.
Yep. I would have made a Cuxer wanted to play on, so I was more than happy to stay in the lobby with him.
Ah, Drewby's here. Hello, Drewby. Who else is going around? Archie asked, is he making the lobby? I assume you are, Archie.
Apparently the details is wrong, so if the players will send me on what the details are using, we happily as well. Well, we have that. The, of course, Gloria and Drewby being here as well. And while it is the case, the Irish lads in the UK will be doing that. And while it is the case, we will be playing, of course, the Whitehall boys in Ireland and UK. Alright, is it not with the correct details? Oh, that's weird. The two sides are arguing on which side is right here. More than happy if they're not. Alright, they're remaking it. So, while that is the case, Mayday.
Hello.
Hello.
You kind of caught me off guard there. I was in the middle of something.
I know, I thought it's a set there.
So Ireland, the UK, Vert, Archie, Blurry, 2 recent Rank X promotions, and one rank A player who's been there for quite some time, very consistent players, against washed up boys who none of us thought would get this far. What do you reckon, Danny? Are they doing something special? Are they sprinkling some magic dust on their games and managing to pull off some amazing games? And are they going to do it again?
Are they going to do it again? Well, we'll find out. Clover apparently won or hasn't won a round yet by the sounds of it. Well, of course, we'll talk about that later. Speaking about later, here and now, we have all the players in this one here. And of course, Mayday. Who's in the teams?
So on Ireland and UK, we have Blurry, Archie, and Vert. And then on Washed Up Boys, we have Kieran RL, we have Treefork, and we have Pupper. Two relatively older players for the younger guys who've come in. Treefork and Pupper have been around for quite a while. Also, Kieran has as well. Kieran's been around since season 2, I believe. Against the newer boys, Blurry, Archie, and Vert. Vert has been around since about season 4, 5. Archie, I think the same, and Blurry, possibly season 3. So it's new school versus old school in this case. And Vert's already scored, showing what the new school can do in this tournament. Archie with a great pass off of the backboard. Kieran just missing the clear, and Vert keeping it just low enough so that Kieran couldn't get a proper save in it and ends up tapping it back into the net.
Showing the difference between the seasons and, of course, the put in the context. Vert, of course, we talk about Irish players, 2,000 MMR, and of course it ranked at 1 point. Had a decent run at DreamHack and a close qualifier at 1 point at Private Esports. So quality is there, and that man Blurry with an opportunity. Of course, in the 6 mans, he has played there for a while at rank X level. So he will see some development coming in. But it is the old dogs in this series who shows how the boys are the Vga shots.
Great little pop from Pupper, just leaving enough time for Kieran to come in and get that demo. Nothing the last man could do there. Unfortunately, that was just perfect timing, perfect play from this blue side. Washed up boys showing they're not really that washed up after all.
Well, not washed up, but again, they're not exactly old by my terms. But we will see if there is life in the dog. Kieran to the side, Treefork to the side, or will he puncture the ball into the middle? Well, it's pretty much back to Kieran from the halfway line. Archie back down. He's apparently the carry, but Popper to the side. The Treefork, Kieran with the demo. Virtuoso is there, and Archie, well, trying to steal the ball, not happening 2-1.
Wide open net there for Vert. Unfortunately, Pupper was pushed up too far. Kieran challenged early, which left Treefork in an awkward situation on the right hand side, which left an open net for Vert. It was just a little bit too over aggressive from this blue side. Pull the reins back in a bit and they'll be doing a bit better.
Pull the reins. Will there be at least a crown to be put on the head? Kieran gets a save, and his reign of terror on the pit still remains. Popper to the side. Will he get an opportunity? Blurry gets a demo, removes control. Archie with the ball. Kieran back down, just being a nuisance. Back with a full canister of booze. It's still the man Archie with the ball. Blurry to the side, pops it high. Position for a pass by the looks of it. Gets it to the middle. Vert will just play the pressure game, and Archie back into his half, back into his corner. Blurry's there. Look at the control, goes for the pinch, pops it over. Kieran's there. He's got a vital, much important, and the defensive touch there by, of course, the Wised Up boys. Still keeps the ball away from the net. Keeps it at 2-1.
Great read from Pupper there, just getting in the way of that shot. Vert trying to keep up the pressure for this orange side, but Treefork's able to read it out. Treefork going to try and carry it past this orange side now. Archie's up, trying to pass it on to Vert, ends up hitting it straight to the blue side. Can't get a shot off. Kieran is just out way too quick for these guys. This blue side showing they're just able to keep up with the younger crowd, the speedier crowd. And as I say that, Vert with a great shot past 2 defenders. Man on the line, can't do anything about it. Unfortunately, Pupper's clear went straight to him. Nothing can be done to stop that. Great positioning from Vert. 3-1 to Ireland and UK.
Well, we did expect something to come in this game. We didn't expect it to have as much goals a defence again, perhaps at some point, and it's Blurry beaten by Kieran. Vert is there waiting, gets the touch, and Archie scrambles at that one. Kieran with the crossbar, and that's a miss from the Washed Up boys. The second one did not even get off. Treefork with an opportunity down to the side. Vert is just waiting patiently as well. Kieran to the side corner, and that's a pass to Potter to the side. Blurry slows it down, pops it, flips it, gets away with that too. But it's Treefork with the ball. Possession the key, the king of the field at this moment of time. 90 seconds remain, give or take. It's still 3-1 in game one.
I can really see why this washed up boys side has done as well as they have so far. They've played phenomenally. The fact that they're taking three of the better players that we have in Dank squad this close in games, they're making so many crucial saves, they're making great passing plays. They're just not getting the finishing touches on things, but you can see why they've upset so many good teams so far.
Upsets are part of course, why we love, of course, all the tournaments here. Such a feisty region that it is, and I'm talking about made at this point. 5 saves was required. That's a second one that was required for the opposition, and the Washed Up boys will be looking a little bit annoyed that it's still only 3-1. Archie to the side. Kieran gets a touch. Blurry thinks twice about pushing until then. Vert to the side. A passes into the midfield. An opportunity goes away as popped to the side, and Kieran to the middle. Gets it to the least the right-hand side. No more than that. 20 seconds remains.
We've also got to be taken into consideration for this game. The washed up boys are coming in a lot colder than the Ireland and UK boys. The washed up boys game was finished before we started streaming Dutch Bim Bam versus Decent. So they've been out of the tournament for quite a while. They haven't been playing consistently. They've probably been doing scrims in between, but they haven't felt this pressure for a solid hour, and that's one win for the Ireland and the UK lads. Hopefully the washed up boys can get a bit more warmed up, come back into this next game stronger, play better, score some goals, show them that they're not as washed up as people think they are.
What, people thought that?
Apparently so, otherwise why would they call themselves that?
No idea. Chat, come on, you let us know why that is the case. But of course, here at, of course, the Dank Squad 3v3 tournament, the semi-final stage, £100 on the line. The grand final is on the line here, and of course, the chat there being, of course, discussing the rank X player, of course, on that squad. The quality is there, but Mayday, in that last series, we saw the old versus the new. Is it simply the case the new outplaying?
I think it was simply a case of the new. It's not the new outplaying as per se, because every player on this pitch has performed very well. I think it's more so just the new guys have a lot more adaptability. They can definitely switch up their playstyles when they need to, and it's just a bit too much for this blue side. Because you saw for the first minute, 2 minutes, the blue side was able to keep up, if not go ahead of the orange side. But because of that adaptability of Ireland and UK, they were able to come back into the game strong and hold out for the win. I feel like it's every time I talk, Vert just scores out of nowhere, so we have no reaction. But it was an amazing shot from Vert there, off the backboard, followed up with a read. Beautiful goal.
I think Vert wants you to talk even more. If that's the case, it is 1-0, and this could easily have been one apiece, and it will be responded. Kieran with a slammer, and it will now reduce the deficits back to 0-0.
It was a great attempt of a save by Blurry, pre-flipping into that, as he says, pre-flip gang, but it just wasn't enough. It ends up hitting the inside of the crossbar, going straight back out to the washed up boys, and it's easy goal for them, unfortunately, for the Ireland and the UK guys.
Blurry now to the backboard, unfortunate, and they will have to defend counter-attacking style that has not really broken farther to the halfway. Really much credit to Ireland and the UK squad who put them into that challenge. Midfield dominance here. Blurry to the backboard. Vert waits patiently. A pass to nobody. All alone in the midfield is Kieran with the ball and straight down to the opposition half. But again, Nobody wanting to take control and making something happen with a solo play. Very much team orientated so far.
I think a few more solo plays would really help both teams break out a bit more, because you saw the orange side just get stuck in defense there. They had no way of getting it out until one player carries it out, because they're not shooting up well enough for them to pass it out. As I say that, beautiful pass from Rory into the middle from Archie. Archie with a great shot. It just left wide open by the washed up boys. Kieran with a poor clear off the roof. Archie pre-flipping into it. It's a great team goal by them.
Well, it is a goal nonetheless. It's broken the deadlock. Oh, the semi-final is a cruel place. Could be looking down to, in the series, match point Vert misses, and that is an unexpected backflip there. But again, we did not presume the miss was coming. And again, the team filled with a few rank X players certainly should be filling the field with quality players. But again, it's Treefork with an opportunity to Kieran, but Archie with the block. Vert is there, slows it down here, the washed up boys, but they're still feeling the pressure. Treefork with a block. It's popped into the halfway line, even further down to the opposition half, and the net and Vert's clear will do enough. Kieran slows it down, but it's no more than just delaying the inevitable, surely.
I've been really impressed by this washed up boys side, considering the quality that is on this Ireland UK side. As we've said, 2 rank X players, 1 rank A player who's been there for quite a few months. He deserves his spot there. He's been an amazing player. The fact that they're holding their own against this and keeping the games very, very low scoring, it's been phenomenal to watch.
Phenomenal. But will it get a little bit more better? Will it get a little bit more space here? We've seen the series being tight, of course. All going the distance of 5 games with at least an OT somewhere in the middle. But it is not looking likely. Thor to the side. Vert with a long distance clear. Archie's there. Backboard back into the middle. And Kieran straight onto that one. Blurry side sent Kieran to the cleaners. And it's a 2-1 scoreline. Could be 3-1. But Blurry being a little bit merciful there, not putting it in. I think that's toying with your foot there.
I don't think he was. I think it was a pass. And as I say that, they almost pull off an amazing team play off of the backboard with Archie trying to pass it down the Vert. Vert barely misreading that, hitting the crossbar. Yet again, Danny, the crossbar has just been the MVP, hasn't it?
Has been. I mean, we could send them up here to Comering Gaming.
I don't think they'd take that deal, Danny, but we can try. We can try.
I mean, it's still in the tournament, unlike them, to be fair. Sorry, Comering Gaming. Lovely lads. We presumed they were going to get to the semi-final in the lower bracket, but again, predictions are there to be broken, and of course, tears being filled by their, well, unfortunate run. But Vert to the side, still in game 2, and it's a pass into the middle to Treefork, and Blurry! Lack of concentration or disrespect?
I think it was a bit of lack of concentration, because he went a bit too far when he tried to jump off, and he ends up getting a false jump off of the crossbar. We all hate to see that. We all hate doing it. I know I've done it too many times to think of. It's just one of those situations you don't think your car has gone as far as it has, and unfortunately it has, so you can't make the save.
Well, can't make the save, but suddenly out of nowhere, a little bit of for the washed up boys. They could get back into the game. Archie with the carry, and he is with the ball. Kieran drops it down, boost, possession, vital, 10 seconds down, will be no more, and we just see a little spam potentially developing in chat. Was Archie overrated? Vertso outdated, Blurry, frustrated Ireland in UK, eliminated. I think it's a bit early to say that, but it is another OT.
It's a fine bit of poetry though, isn't it, Danny? You gotta love a good bit of poetry in the Twitch chat.
Well, let's see if they can come up with another one.
I feel like they could just take those and put in mine and yours names. And oh, as I say, that Treefork winning the game for Washed Up Boys, showing that they aren't so washed up after all. Gets an amazing read off the backboard. Pupper gets the bump on the Vert, so Vert can't do anything. Great shot from Treefork, and we're going into a best of 3 now, Danny. One
Well,
apiece.
one apiece. I think some people may not even thought that the Washed Up Boys would get at least one. They prove that wrong, and of course, a team filled with ESL monthly elites against their oppositions not feeling as much. But while it is the case, BJB once again reigned but strongly in caps. He must be feeling very passionate on this one here, Brady. And it looks like a few people from the staff are spamming it too. They must, well, they'll be enjoying it, the poetry anyway.
Well, again, as I said, it is a good bit of poetry, but let's see if those statements are true or not, and see if these Ireland and the UK boys can come out with a win, or washed up boys could get yet another upset. They've already had 2 this tournament. Can they get a 3rd upset, Danny? What do you reckon?
Well, they say 3 is a magical number. Well, we'll find out if the case, but I will go with no. Been wrong before, and I will be wrong times after that. Kieran with the ball and clears it to the side with no front man to aim for. The cherry pick does not come to the option, and Kieran drops it straight down. Vert had a shot similar to that in Rocket League Brigade, and he had scored it with an absolute sizzler. Kieran could not. 4 minutes on the clock, still 0-0 here in this game 3.
It was a great drop down from Blurry. Unfortunately, it was just where Kieran was rotating in, so he couldn't actually get anything off of it. And Archie, the carrying the ball over 2 cars, but getting challenged in the end. Vert trying to play the ball into the corner. Blurry going up off the roof, trying to get a play going, misses the ball. I guess that's what they teach you in Rank X, Danny, is to miss the ball off the roof.
Greatest strategy. They presume every player can hit the ball at that rank.
Well, to be fair, no matter what rank you are, you will miss the ball. And as I say that, Treefork just showing again and again that he can score when he wants to. Great pass off the backboard by Kieran. Great read by Treefork. Over Vert's head, just drops in under the crossbar. Archie can barely not get there. 1-0 to the washed up boys in game 3.
Well, we do see an poetry in chat. Spam this bloke to make sure Archie chokes. I think he did with that miss on a save as well. 90 seconds. Washed Up Boys' Mayday has alluded to, up by 1. That's a brilliant shot! Oh, fabulous as well. And the Rank X player Blurry leaves in disgust, and rightly so.
That was an amazing doink by Pupper. This is what the new school is missing. These old school shots. Nobody would have thought to doink that. They would have thought to pass it, wouldn't have gone for the shot, would not have doinked it anywhere near the goal because they would have assumed somebody would be there. As I say that, Vert with the dunk over Treefork, making it 2-1. The game's back to 1 goal difference. What a kickoff from Vert. What a dunk. This has just been one end to the other, Danny.
It has been end-to-end stuff. We talk about old school cleanly getting that, and Vert just goes right to the face, stares him straight into the eyes, and says, I dare you to do it again, because he has put a marker on this Archie to drop it straight down the Blurry, and Potter's there, Treefork there, Kieran will rotate in, but Vert's not happy. He's fuming, he's steaming, and Archie, well, he couldn't even get the ball that time. Treefork with a counter. 2 minutes and 50 remains, and the Washed Up Boys in game 3 leads as well here at the Dance Squad. £100 tournament. It could go either way so far here at the semi-finals.
You can really see that both teams want it. Both teams are trying their best, pulling out all the stops, but somehow the underdogs, Washed Up Boys, are coming out ahead so far. If they manage to keep this up, they will be in the finals for that £100 that Danny was talking about. Hopefully they can make it and show that Rank X and Rank A don't mean as much as people think they do.
Well, Rank A, Rank X, all that I know is their letters. Alphabet. This point in time, the quality of Kieran is sizzling, he's fizzing, and it's certainly popping at the moment, and it's with Popper and Kieran with a back pass. So brilliant it was, it took all 5 players away, and himself included. It was masterful, it was a piece of beauty, and a great time of wasting the ball, and of course the clock.
This ball has just been bounced around from end to end, side to side, all in the name of just this washed up boys side keeping this lead, not conceding. They're doing a bang up job of it so far, going a whole 2 minutes without the ball going anywhere near their net. They haven't been threatened once since that vert goal. They've been doing an amazing job rotating. You can't fault them for this gameplay.
Can't fault. Vert is there with the ball. He trying to get it. Kieran is there putting pressure. The washed up boys in the blue as a reminder. Popper to the side. His team mate Treefork has just said rank X. I think it means X marks the spot. 3-1.
What a great pass from Pupper. Lofts it up in the air so Treefork can get the negative angle down just below the crossbar. Neither of the Ireland UK boys could save it. Great team play from this washed up boys.
Chat, silence, the fans for Ireland and UK absolutely sitting there speechless. Even the washed up boys, teammates and fans are sitting there, we're doing it. They can't believe it, but they're doing it. And there is Blurry being taught a lesson. The old dogs still living the life. And it's great. 4-1, the comeback likely? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. 3 goals left, 50 seconds. We have seen it before. We've all been in games where it's turned like that at the drop of a hat. But hopefully these washed up boys know what they're doing. They've been playing this game for long enough. They know how to keep a 3-goal lead with 45 seconds left.
Well, Blurry down the lane. Vert with the demo. They get 1 goal back. It's 4-2, and Blurry will be credited with that one. It certainly, vengeance is sweet.
It was a great team play from Blurry and Vert. Blurry just buying just enough time for Vert to get there. They almost managed to pinch it away, but the way that Blurry positioned his car just manages to hit it towards the goal. And Treefork almost scored again. The defense of this Ireland and UK side has been really lacking in this game. I don't know why.
Don't know why, but they didn't need it there, Mayday. The offense did not get the major reward, the goal that was required, the one that could have said a kick-off OT, perhaps. 10 seconds now, down to 5. Popper drops it down. The time wasting has been excellent, and the pass for the goal. And the washed up boys is saying, we're still here to play.
Popper dropping it down to Kieran. Kieran lofting the ball. Treefork getting the slightest of touch to put it over the defender. What a goal by that team. Washed up boys really showing that they're here to win. They're here to take it all. And maybe they can beat the number 1 seed while they're at it, Danny.
Well, the number 1 seed looking a little bit shaky. Vert to get 1 goal back. It's a buzzer beater. But is the number 1 seed a looking elimination? Is the poetry living up to the billing? The penultimate game, perhaps? Come on and tell us what you think, chat.
I think the chat's a bit afraid, Danny. They're afraid of getting it wrong. That's all it is.
Well, they may be afraid of getting it wrong, but Mayday, what's your opinion?
Oh, I'm not Casters Carson, none of the team I like, Danny. That's not happening. I will say, though, that Treefork, Pupper, and Kieran have really, really impressed me with how well they've been playing. I didn't think going into this tournament they'd be doing this well. They're going up against the number 1 seed. They're going up against 3 very, very good players, and they are holding their own and teaching them a lesson while they're at it. It's been amazing to watch. I've loved every minute of it.
Amazing to watch, loving every moment. Kai's going for the washed up boys. Don't worry, it won't be hurting anybody, but maybe the infamous wooden spoon might be making a comeback tonight. Who knows? But again, it's Treefork is there. The air dribble, Blurry with the save. Popper misses the ball. Kieran just slows it down. Archie, the carry, has been silenced for a moment. Kieran gets it. Blurry with a demo. Vert's been told to go away. Blurry on his own, marching to the semi-final, going to the final with this opening goal. 1-0.
What a catch by Blurry, what a dribble, and an amazing flick and flip at the end to seal the goal. Carries it around Kieran. Kieran challenges a bit too early. Blurry's able to pull it past them, gets a nice little flick over the last defender, manages to just get there in time and backflip it back into the back post. Amazing to see.
Archie down now, the blurry, it's stylish, but the substance is not much. Tree fork to the middle, Popper is there, should be met by Vert, double, maybe, Tree just pops it to the side, his teammate Kieran was waiting. He is, of course, one of the Insomnian semi-finalists. He's been a runner-up at one point as well at I-63. He has the talent, the bags, but his teammates with the pass and play. Blurry has to get this one away. Vert's chasing Kieran to the side. Tree fork is there, and suddenly that moment of quietness turned to inspiration, and then suddenly perspiration. They were sweating everywhere at that moment.
You've got to think what's going on inside this Ireland UK guy's head. In their heads, you know for a fact that they think we're better than these guys. These guys haven't been as good for the last few seasons as we have. They're just being absolutely shut up, and they have to take this game as serious as can be. They've got to be sweating in their boots waiting for this series to be over. Hopefully, in their heads, they're managing to keep calm, they're managing to keep themselves together, and they can get a win out of it. But who knows? Because they're so young, they might not have the mentality of these older guys. As I say that, Vert with a great shot hits the crossbar straight down, straight in. Great pass from Archie off the backboard as well.
Oh, it's getting hot in here. I mean, if you were a penguin in the Arctic, you'd be boiling at this point here. Oh, it's getting tense between the two. The experience is there. Is the mental game Mayday was hinting at there for the Irish boys in the UK squad? It's Popper with the ball straight down, Vert to drop it with that 2-goal lead now. It's now the Wised Up boys' turn to play the offensive chasing game in Game 4.
That's one thing we haven't actually seen from this Washed Up boys side is, can they, on the back foot, go all out offense, manage to sneak the goals they need and win the overtime? Because they lost the first game trying to do it. Can they figure out their mistakes and come back into this game, and hopefully in the next 2 minutes 35 seconds can they get the 3 goals they'll need to get the win? 2 goals they'll need to go to overtime.
Well, it's 2 currently. Vert was trying to make it 3. Blurry not having it in Tree Fork, just slams this ball. It's wide. Vert was beat. It could have been that 1 goal. Maybe even put doubt in the minds of the young contenders that are in the orange. But Tree Fork back in defence, just slows it down. Popper's there. Archie beating the demo. However, will force the Wised Up boys on the back foot as well. Vert to the side. Tree Fork is there. It's a 2v1 scenario against Blurry, and he has just outplayed the entirety of that possessions field there. 2-0 in this Game 4 remains.
I know going into this tournament I heard that Archie would be the carry for this Ireland and UK side. I heard Archie's the ball chaser, Archie's the one who'll make the plays. So far I've been very impressed with Vert and Blurry, especially Blurry. Blurry's managed to get about 3 solo goals completely. He's been very good with his passes, he's been really good on defense. Then Vert as well. Vert has just been in the way of almost every offense that he can be, bar in the last game. The last game was a bit of a shambles from them, but they've been really impressive so far. I'm excited to see what they can do for the rest of this game and potential Game 5.
Game 5 is eluding the goal, not coming in for the Wised Up boys. Archie the carry, just doing enough to get the ball to Blurry, and that is a bad touch. Vert is scrambling to keep this offensive pressure being built up. Tree Fork to the side. Look at this control. Blurry not having any of it. Still trying to get this ball to pinch it in. Popper to the side. Vert's been beaten, but his defensive teammates are there. Popper to drop it down. Tree Fork tries a fake. Does so brilliantly, but Vert with the rotations coming in. 30 seconds once again the warning. Still remains 2 down on the deficit for the Wised Up boys, and it looks like Game 5 is the likely of the 2 options.
Well, it really looks like the Ireland and the UK boys seem to have the mentality to keep going. Again, as I say that, every time I talk, there's just a goal for these boys. Vert with a great pass off the backboard, barely just getting above the crossbar so it didn't go down, and Blurry hitting it perfectly and not allowing any defender to get anywhere near that. What a goal from this Ireland and UK side.
Well, it is 3-0. Kieran with the fake, and it does so well. But this 10 seconds are merely a customary token that says the dominance that the Irish has at this point in the UK. But again, Mayday has said game 5 here at the Dank Squad's £100 tournament. And it has gone the distance once more. And a caster cursor still liking the teams too much.
I'm enjoying this way too much to curse either team. I think no matter who wins it from now on, this series so far has shown that either team can win it. Either team could go all the way and take the tournament. Both teams have been absolutely phenomenal, and it's been great to watch. I'm not going to curse either team. I'm not going to say, oh, I like these guys over these guys. Just doesn't seem fair to them.
Doesn't seem fair, doesn't seem nice at all. But elimination is in grasp, it is in grand final spot is also two who will be sent packing with the wheelie bin collection on Monday, or who will have a chance to spend the bucks. Well, Tree Fork misses, Kieran doesn't get it. He has finally sown two. Popper's been called off. Boost, Flick, Pop, all favouring them at the moment. The Wised Up boys pass into the middle. Blurry not happy in the sense of they even thought about doing it against him, and he had responded. 20 seconds gone. The Wised Up boys, quick response to get this opening and quick early goal.
I think both teams so far can be very proud of how they played because both have been absolutely phenomenal at stages. This washed up boy squad has gone far and beyond the expectations we had of them. This Ireland and UK side in this series, what we've seen has just been amazing, and they've shown why they're top level players in Europe at the moment. It's just been a pleasure to be part of.
Top level of players, and that is one that does not get a lot of credit. Kieran with a fabulous save there. Desperately, last man flung himself at the ball, and once more again. Oh, the difference between a 1-0 game has been Kieran twice on the line. No VAR required, and Kieran doing it all alone. Hopper was there to provide an assistance and a shield to throw all, but Kieran and Vert, two players, two difference in ability and skill, but they have been showing they can slug it out with the 90 seconds gone. A deciding game. Game 5 remains tied at 0-0.
Two amazing saves from Kieran, and they weren't easy saves. He had to dive at that so early just to get there in time. He had to go so quick. Absolute pure display of defensive skill. Amazing from his part.
Well, amazing. Developing into something that could be even tasty. Oh, Popper with the pass. Kieran just put as much power as he could, and bless him, he just went too hard and too heavy on the hit. It has gone back into the opposition half. It's on their half where they're being forced to defend. Kieran on the backboard. Treefork could have been bumped easily away. Demoed. It's Kieran on his own. Another defensive save. He has 3 to his name. The bar of the side of the net being even more crucial. Treefork misses. Popper on the lane. The Wised Up boys are living a dangerous life, but they are still in it.
They are living life on the edge, if not a little bit behind the edge that ball was, but my God, what amazing offensive pressure from Ireland and the UK. It's a shame their finishing isn't as good as their offensive pressure, but this defense from Kieran, Popper and Treefork have just been phenomenal.
2 minutes remains in game 5. We've seen 2 going into the decider in this situation. We've at least seen goals in these games. An OT that's goalless. Unthinkable, surely. The top seed could be eliminated. They've been held on by the team that's been doing ever so well. But Archie, the carry, has finally lifted the bag and put something in the net.
He's finally lived up to his name and has come out with an amazing double touch. That is one of the hardest reads from an impossible angle, and he still manages to get it. What a goal from him.
Popper now to the side. It's Treefork will just rotate back in. He'll decide the pressure. Enough is enough, surely. The Washed Up Boys misses that shot there. That could have been the difference. That could have been the moment of a flashback. That could have been. We will not find out until the end. Vert with another shot, however, and Archie the carry finally sticking the nail in the coffin, surely. That's 2-0.
It just seems like this Ireland the UK boys side has completely just switched it on, realized, okay, we've been taken to game 5 by a team we really should be beating, and they're just outclassing them at this stage.
The Washed Up Boys, maybe tiredness, fatigue, or is it simply the case that they are being outbeaten by the better set? Kieran with an opportunity, maybe to prove that doubt even wrong. Popper to the side, Archie back into the middle, Blurry. Oh, that was smart, that was dangerous. 60 seconds remains, but it does not look likely for the Washed Up Boys.
There is a break now. Treefork got the shot and it's in! What a play from the Washed Up boys. Bringing the ball out of the corner. Popper sees Treefork in the mid, passes it ahead of Vert. Vert can't get the Treefork. Treefork with a serious finish straight down the middle. 2-1. Can Washed Up boys get this comeback?
Could it, but is it a case of overconfidence? Then, chat, thought the Washed Up Boys were gone. They eliminated, and that could have been another dangerous opportunity. They could have turned it in. It was on a plate for them, but it remains with 40 seconds still on the clock. Do or die at this point.
Yeah, this Washed Up boys team really just needs to go all out. I know it's a really dangerous thing to do against Ireland and the UK, especially with the quality of players that are on it, but 20 seconds left, 2-1 down, you just gotta go for it, especially when there's 100 quid on the line.
Just have to go for it. This is an opportunity begging to be taken. It was an empty net. Popper deliberately misses surely there. It was on for the taking. Everybody has missed at the ball at least once. 10 seconds down to 3. It's absolutely chaotic down here on the Ireland and UK boys. It's still in the air. Treefork to keep it up. Popper will get there for a moment. It's still breathing down and it's gone in. A buzzer beater to get back into the series. Stag Squad living on the edge. And this will be the Washed Up boy potentially sealing a grand final spot for the £100.
What a series of play for Washed Up boys. They kept the ball up for so long, didn't let them get a proper clear out, kept going, and eventually got the ball in. That is why you never give up in this game. That is why you keep going until you're sure, until the ball has touched the ground. And they have kept going, didn't let the ball touch the ground, scored, now they're in overtime. Who do you think is going to go the distance, boys?
Oh, who's going the distance? A semi-final here at the Night Squad Comrade Gaming with the sponsorship for the tournament. £100 at this stage in here at the time. The prize pool is merely a secondary token. This is now a grudge match now. The top seeds a reminder now. The ones in the orange, Ireland and UK, thought they may have been better. They thought this may even be a walkover. They've been helped by the old dogs here. Popper now into the side of the fan. A hard clear down the line. The right guys, boys, struggling maybe. Kieran to the side. Treefork is there. Straight to the side. Now Vert's been bumped by Kieran. Blurry to Archie. It's a straight counter. 60 odd seconds is gone. And this decisive OT. And it remains an opportunity begging to be taken.
You sound a little bit out of breath, Danny. You're going hard at it. I would be surprised if you were close, because you can go for hours and hours just talking away. But unfortunately, this game I don't think will last hours and hours. Hopefully one of these teams will have enough offensive pressure. One of them will get a decent clear. One of them will get the chance, and it'll all be over then. So far, both teams have done phenomenally on the defensive side for this minute 40 that they've been going.
Phenomenally, the man himself, Kieran, has played excellent. Send the ball off the line 3 times. On recent memory, so much forth, and once more Treefork stick his body on the lane. Do or die was even the case. This is now a mission to prove a point, surely. Tree fork to the side, Popper down to Kieran, to the side, and yes, go on, my son! That's how you sell it. That's the Matchy to the top seeds. Eliminated, frustrated, they've gone out. Kieran, go on. The former Insomnia grand finalist into the grand final.
What an amazing game by the Washed Up Boys. They held on. They were 1 goal down, 0 seconds left. They managed to get the goal in. Minute 40 into overtime, they managed to break away, get the goal on the better quotation mark players, and seal the deal. They're going straight to the finals. What a series that was. My heart is racing, Danny.
Your heart's racing, Jot was silent, but the rank X boys means nothing. You can't prove it. The rank A ones got it, stuck the point home, stick it through. That makes it even more the case anybody can beat. Join, of course, the Dank Squads. Join the Discord down below and fancy your chances here. The Washed Up Boys, they've been back to the seasons. They're old, they're ancient, surely. Well, they're now as old as I am, gone at this point. But the Washed Up Boys, they have one more chance at the grand final. But let's look at the bracket to see who they're going to face.
And in the finals, who do they have, Danny? They have Top Shaggers, which is Cal Disan and Relating Wave. Yeah, they managed to 3-1 Dutch Bim Bam. They won the first game 4-2, lost the second game 4-1, then continued to win 3-1 and 2-1. So it should be a very interesting game. So far, every series that we've streamed, Danny, has gone to game 5.
I must say, whoever the scriptwriter is, you get paid extra tonight. Well done.
If only we could afford one, Danny.
That explains why the dyslexic writing was on the sheet tonight.
No, that was your own writing, Danny.
Shh, nobody's meant to know. Oh, what a series that was.
I'm telling my heart is still racing. That was absolute phenomenal play from the Washed Up Boys. It was a great showing from Ireland and the UK, but unfortunately they weren't able to get the job done. They had more than enough chances to finish off multiple games. They just couldn't put the finishing touch on it. It was great to watch. It was amazing to be a part of, and I'm proud of the old school boys getting the win for us, Danny.
Well, I can't say they're the old school bunch. I'm the ancient bunch of SARP.
They're the old school bunch. You're the old university bunch.
Yes.
You're a bit too old for the majority of the people in the scene, Danny. Nobody else plays SARP.
Yeah.
So we have Top Shaggers against Washed Up Boys. I think we're gonna take a quick break in between that just to give Danny's lungs a bit of time to repair and my heart a bit of time to calm down. So we'll see you in about, what'd you say, Danny?
Say 7 minutes.
7 minutes it is, so. And we are back, boys. It's been an absolute phenomenal tournament so far, Danny, wouldn't you say so?
Well, I don't think if anybody hasn't been sort of going, what's all the hype about? Stop what you're doing. Go back and watch the rest of the stuff after the grand final, because we've seen the top seed get absolutely brought a game and a half towards him, and C2, however, has been knocked out as well. So upsets has been caused all around. But what a grand final that has been set up tonight, though.
They've been amazing, amazing games so far. Every single game that we've seen, top tier players, all going for that £100 prize pool. It's been quite the journey, Danny, quite the journey. Seeing Yowza 3-0 Wind and Rain, seeing Dutch Bim Bam beat Decent 3-2, and then Washed Up Boys pulling the upset of the tournament, beating Ireland and UK 3-2, barely in overtime in the last game.
I mean, we talked about moments in Rocket League, especially not giving up. That series there was quite literally the definition of it.
Oh, 100%. The last game, 0 seconds left. Washed Up Boys managed to keep the ball up for, say, a solid 15 seconds, get a goal out of it. They hold on for a minute 40, then come out, get an absolute banger of a goal from Tree Fork passing to Kieran, and it was amazing gameplay. Some of the
Like,
best that Europe has to offer, some would say.
yeah, I just seen Clove in chat there saying he had to drive home. Well, you missed arguably the greatest match that has been played at a community level. And I have been here doing it over 2 years near enough. It has been one of the exceptional nights of Rocket League. And speaking about exceptional, we do have one more match, fortunately, but it does mean we have extended it slightly further to the best of seven. And who will those teams be tonight, Mayday?
They will be Washed Up Boys and Top Shaggers going into a best of seven.
Yeah. Those are the teams, and of course the Washed Up Boys, Kieran, Treefork, and Popper, knocking out the best seeds as well. But on the opposite side, a former teammate of Vert at one point on the We Not Fit related Wave and Cal is there on that team as well. And rounding up the top shaggers themselves is Distan. So will they provide the upset to the upsetters? Or will the best of seven be too much for one of these teams tonight?
Think hopefully it doesn't go to game seven because I'm not sure how long Danny's voice will hold up. But we know we're in for a phenomenal game. After the last game, it can only go up from there. It was amazing to see. Hopefully they keep up the same high level. Hopefully Washed Up Boys can do it for the old school lads. Praying for them to win.
Well, praying for the win. Of course, down below is the Dank Squad. Of course, the Discord if you want to get into the action. And of course, we want you to join into it, even if it is just for a chat or even to join the viewing party. I, of course, had a quick look there, switch the player who was unfortunately knocked out as well. But while that is the case, Joe is there, Frozen, of course, an RLR's player as well. Crisis, and of course, a competitive clip hitter is there. I don't know what exactly he does, but he is there watching and waiting in the background. But while that is the case, £100 on the line, a bit of pride perhaps. I think these teams here are looking to finish each other off the way they started. While that is the case, the teams have joined. Mayday. Any last predictions, or shall we dare not?
I think we dare not, Danny. We know how influential the caster's curse is, so we'll leave this one up to the teams. Let them go at each other, go head to head for this £100, and hopefully we get some high level gameplay out of this.
High level gameplay, the chat, you're more than welcome to join the prediction. Of course, you can get loud or sit quietly and enjoy the masterclass that was the Washed Up Boys. They have provided something interesting. Distant near enough had an opportunity. Popper and Treefork sitting there. He might be feeling refueled after that break as well. Both the two teams had an interesting route to the semi-final and, of course, the grand final. And of course, Mayday just pointed that out during the break, and that's placement. Distan showing a little bit of class. 1-0.
This is a team that we haven't actually seen yet, and there's a reason why they got to the finals. Finishing like that, team plays like that, they've kept up so much pressure even from this early start, 32 seconds in. Amazing goal from the top shaggers. Hopefully they keep it up and keep going.
Keep going. It's a long distance. It's near enough a marathon. To 7, the old days, best of 9. Oh, those were the days. But
I don't think many players would do a best of 9, Danny.
oh, I think they would.
If it meant they could win, they would. Fair enough.
Oh, those used to be the days where mechanics, skill, and the mental game was all in, of course, the worst of conditions. Best of 7 looks like a gentle walk in the park at this point in time, but Cal slows it down. The tree fork Distan pops it up high. Related Wave just moves into position. Cal waits his opportunity. Straight to the backboard. Related Wave is there. Didn't even reach to the backboard. He was that quick as well. Drops it to the side of Distan. Tree forks there. Kieran to the side. But Cal slows it down. Distan their Wave. And it's a straightforward double. But it's only to the side. And it still remains 1-0.
So for most of the first games of these tournaments, teams are filling each other out. It just seems like both teams are just going to go hard at each other from the start, and it's great to see. There's no filling each other out. It's just we're implementing our playstyle, and that's what we want to do. Can't get the goal off of that. Pupper goes out, makes a save. No goal for top shaggers. Still 1-0.
Well, still is the case. Kieran to the side. They are killers. They have knocked out the top seed. They are looking surely the favourites. Tree fork now to the side. Pops it straight up to the popper. Distan is there. And so is Cal to pick up the shot opportunity. Tree fork straight down. Wave to the side. Kieran on the backboard. They send it to a little bit of safety. And Tree fork has been post-stamped at the ball. And they just send it back to where he found it, onto the opposite side of the field.
There has been one major difference that I can see so far from this game to any of the others we spectated. Right off the bat, it's about aerial dominance from this top shagger side. Everything they've done so far has come from a long pass through the air or a read off the backboard. There is no ground game, there's no one-on-ones, it's just purely aerial dominance for the moment. Hopefully we'll get to see a bit more variation in style as the game progresses.
Well, we are hoping this is the best of 7. We will have at least 4 games, £100 here. Comrade Gaming sponsoring here at the Dank Squad tournament. And Relative Wave slightly changes it with the dribble. Got 2 to jump, 2 to blink, and it was enough to even question the possibility of extending that lead. Doesn't this time round. Distan back to Wave. Straight to Distan. Straight to Cal. And that's a 2-0.
Distan has just been amazing from the outset. The pass, Wave passes it back to him from the backboard, passes it middle for Cal. Nobody in net for the washed up boys, chasing all around the field just to get a touch on the ball. Amazing read by Distan. Great shot by Cal.
Well. Tree fork and popper, they were down. They haven't shown series able to get back once they were in this situation. The difference this time round, as Mayday said, aerial battles. Can they get themselves back into gear? But Tree fork and popper struggling in defense at this current stage of time. Kieran now to the side. Distan's waiting. Kieran slams the ball away. Distan just playing that absolute nuisance of a role, being the fork to the fork. But this now, with 1 minute remaining, 2-0 being the difference, it's good enough to walk the game 1. Oh, what was that, Wave?
It was an amazing hit towards the other corner, but he managed to get it just to go in and hit the corner of the goal and pop back out, which nobody would ever expect. So fair play to him for doing that. Great way to clear the ball. Not sure how intentional it was. And a great shot there from Wave. Saved by Tree fork at the last second. This top shagger side seems very, very dangerous on the offense.
Well, dangerous on the offense, but we haven't seen the Washed Up Boys get up to the gears we had saw in the semi-final stage. Kieran with another save, just merely a consolation. Maybe if they get a goal, it could be rewarding. Definitely not at this stage here. They'll get a goal at another buzzer beater. They seem to be good at those at the moment, but game one to the top shaggers themselves.
They're very good at finishing off games of goals. It was a great pass from Pupper to Tree Fork. These guys have really good synergy together. Is it going to be enough to beat the top Shagger side? We'll have to wait and see, but it was an amazing game one. Can't wait to see what comes next.
What's coming next? Well, that will be straight coming up as well. Well, we do see that as well. We do see a few famous faces. Rocket League Ireland legend himself, Red Eyes and I is here. Of course, Jay Christ is here, and Lady Penelope is here. They're saying they can only score in 0 seconds and only in that OT as well. Well, point to prove, but they get back onto the scoreboard. But while that is the case, mayday, second game, enough time. It's a bit more extension this time. No need to panic, surely.
But they've had the first game to figure each other out. As I said, they kind of went at each other a bit harder than most people would. Hopefully, Washed Up Boys have learned from the first game and they know a bit more, especially with that last goal. They know how to work around the defense. But are they fast enough to win these aerial battles is the real question.
Well, Cal was fast, but Kieran enough to block to be a nuisance once more. Distance to the side, Kieran from his backboard with the clear, and it's Popper and them. Kieran gets the boost at the midfield. He's waiting patiently where Wave has just stuck the ball, and Cal was waiting for a better of an opportunity, what was developing, but it didn't happen. Cal and Distan to Wave, but a miss here. Leaves an opportunity, a pass down the field, but it does not work. Kieran is there. A quick flick, a pop perhaps to get back into the offensive movement, a bit of space to get an opportunity, but they've been snuffled out and a counter to go underway.
Yeah, this is a bit more of what we saw in the last series from this Washed Up Boys side. They're being a lot more aggressive. They're not getting as many great shots off of, but they are managing to keep the pressure up, which is really important in these games. The one with more pressure has more chances is going to be more goals. As long as they keep it up and don't overextend, get overly aggressive, they should get a goal out of it.
Well, they get a goal would be like gold dust at this current stage of this. And it has developed into a beauty. Cal seems the carry at the current stage. 90 seconds gone, and it's 1-0 favouring the Shags.
Again, it's just Distan coming across, being that nuisance, being that player that gets in the way of everything, leaves the ball for Cal. Cal gets another open net. It's a great finish from Cal, but Distan's doing the majority of the work on the offense for this team.
Distan straight down. Popper and Kieran holds the line. One more defensive, but can't get away from their side. Cal to really wave it straight into the middle. Kieran, is he fast enough? No would be the answer. Distan putting the pressure on Treefork. Takes wave out. Cal will just put the ball straight to the backboard where the double would have been likely. Popper was there. Distan has missed. Unusual. Cal's outplayed Wave. It allows Treefork to move in to take Cal out of the picture. It's a 1v1 for a moment there, and it could have passed to maybe a teammate. Doesn't come around, but 2 minutes and 40 with only 1-0. This is much improved compared to game one.
It's a lot faster than game one, and it's a lot more, again, about these aerial battles that Cal's been beaten a couple of times. Wave has yet to be beaten, but Distan is just proving such a nuisance for this Washed Up Boys side. I don't know how they're going to figure a workaround for him. It's going to be very hard to play around Distan. He's been stopping every single thing that Washed Up Boys have gotten going.
Well, they need to get something to get back into the game. It's game 2 in this potential 7 series of a slow fest here at the grand final. The Dink Squad, of course, Comer Gaming sponsoring it, £100 here at the inaugural game. But it will be Treefork the Kieran. They're trying to, of course, seal the deal of getting the check into their balance, but it does not work. Treefork just pops it straight up. Can he cash into a play? No, it does not work once again. Kieran blocked again, as Mayday said. The defense of the opposition blocking everything that the Washed Up boys are developing, and it's not looking happening in this 90-second remains in game 2.
I think the key thing here for the washed up boys is stop playing into the top stragglers game. They seem to be going for a lot of 50s, they're going for a lot of dunks. All they need to be doing is passing it around this team, because this team is very aggressive with their challenges. Every time that top stragglers has a chance to challenge, they challenge instantly. So playing around them like that might be their best option. They get the ball underneath one of the players, around Relating Wave, over him again. Pupper with the pass underneath Distan. Kieran getting the dunk on Cal and getting the goal that they needed. 1-1 in game 2.
Well, it is a much needed goal. I don't think they'll care how it goes in, but a demo relieves an opportunity. It has give space, of course, to the Washed Up boys. Kieran out of position. A true double commit. Kieran looks sweeping before it becomes toxically dangerous to the point where it was self-contained into danger. Cal to Distan, and Kieran can't save it. 2-1, the lead restored, and the opposition in the form of the Washed Up boys not performing up to par.
That double commit from Pupper and Treefork was really crucial for this offense. Kieran tried to buy as much time as he could. The 50 didn't go his way. Cal got the ball off of the 50, gets the pass off the backboard. Distan finishes. It was easy as that for the top shagger side. Washed up boys need to be aggressive, but not overly aggressive like that, and not double commit on things as simple as that.
Well, the simple things, the basics we talk about, experience surely in the heads here in the boys. We've been talking about how good they are sometimes at the mental game. Kieran can't get the pass back over. It's Kieran again from that pass from his teammate there. Treefork was waiting on the opposite side. Popper there putting the pressure down. They've been good at getting the late goals when it matters most. 10 seconds once more. Popper the pass it once again to the backboard. And Kieran once again scores an equalising goal.
Yet again, last few seconds, this team just seems to be insane at scoring the last second goals. It was complete and utter pressure for the last 15 seconds from this washed up boys side. What a goal. Great intensity. If they could keep that up throughout the game, they might actually win it, but they only seem to be able to do it in the last 10 seconds as far as we've seen.
Well, only in the last 10 seconds is just the case to keep them in this game 2. We have reached another OT. Kieran just has been the magic man to get this team going, but it's Cal with the ball. Treefork being a 1v3, but Kieran's rotated back into the net. A quick bit Distan. Oh, near enough, gets out play the opposition. Popper now straight to Treefork, but Wave is there. Kieran risks it all, and Treefork to the backboard. Popper's there. Cal with the save. Treefork with an opportunity to get back in with another one, but Distan's had enough to send it straight down. But Wave has sent it to Distan, and it's gone low.
What an amazing shot by Distan. Great pass by Wave. Just floats the ball up. Distan looks like he's going to smash the ball. Barely touches it. Puts it into the bottom corner. And unfortunately, there's nothing they could do to save that. What a game. This has been a great final so far.
Well, great final. Has always something in the works. The predictions have not came in. Everybody's just sitting back, enjoying to see what has developed here at the Dank Squad 3v3, the first tournament, perhaps of many more, but it is the case. It is the best of 7. Could be dangerous enough, but the Washed Up boys definitely need to get starting now.
It is a best of 7's a long series as well, so it could have just taken the Washed Up boys 2 games to get into it, 2 games to feel out their opponents. Maybe they'll come into this game a lot stronger, or maybe they'll just have lost all motivation. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well, motivation is key. Treefork with an absolute stinger. Kieran with a fabulous pass from the wall, and Relative Wave. keeper looked awfully foolish.
Kieran just manages to get the touch with the corner of his car, goes firing out into the middle. Tree Fork with a banger of a shot. Can't be saved by the last man. What a play by the washed up boys.
We talked about the potential of adaptability at one point. Is it sustainable? What isn't able to be done? The Washed Up Boys have answered all the questions so far. Popper beaten this time there. Wave gets the ball straight down with a demo. Popper's being forced into an awful situation, and that's an equalising goal.
It's amazing the amount that one demo does. That one demo throws off the entire rotation of the team. Popper gets left in such a bad spot. Kieran's trying to cut across, getting the boost from the corner, just can't make it. What a play from the top shaggers. Great finish by Cal.
4:20 on the clock. I'll let you do the joke on shot on that one, but we look at this game 3 being enough to send it best of 5. We could have been saying championship point. It's not there just yet, but Trevork keeps the ball possession. Bad touch allows Wave straight down. Cal will rotate the way to allow Wave with an open net shot. Kieran was stunned to see that ball go past his teammate. 2-1.
This again could just be, oh, there was a ghost hit from Popper, but again, the lack of rotations could just be the mentality. They've been playing for a couple of hours now. They're 2-0 down in the series. They could just be letting things slip away from them.
Well, it's awful to see. They've had fabulous so far. Nothing to take away from the heads, but we would love to see them play like it was the semi-final. It mattered more. It matters most surely now. Popper to the side. Treefork with a shot. It's wide, however. Wave with a straightforward counter down the lane. Kieran will wait patiently, but he's got 50 so poorly it went Popper's ball into the middle. Off his own box. Treefork and Kieran has double commit there. Wave just drops it down. Toying with him, surely. Cal to the side where Distan was waiting. And by that stage there, this 2-goal lead could have been 3.
It could have been indeed, but the washed up boys seem to slowly be getting back into the swing of things. They're kind of getting the rotations back that they need. Their offense is still lacking slightly, but if they can sort out the back, not concede any more goals, and then sort out, maybe try and get that last second goal that they've been known for so far, they could be able to win this game in overtime.
Well, OT, it has been the Washed Up Boys' specialty. They've only lost a few. I think it's is grand final when it matters the most, surely. Each OT is precious, but it needs to be at its pinnacle. But Treefork pops it into the middle with Distan straight down. Popper gets it to Wave. It's a shame Distan cuts in from the opposite team. Just seems to be not happening, but are they growing into the game? That will be the question. With 2 minutes remaining at the Dank Squad's grand final, sponsored, of course, by Comrade Gaming.
This has just been absolute phenomenal Rocket League today. It's been a great tournament, and these two teams are showing exactly why it's been such an amazing tournament. These are the two best teams that have come out of it. These are the two teams that have beaten all of the odds. They came in, the Washed Up Boys came in as one of the lowest seeds. The Top Shaggers came in as one of the lower seeds in the top half of the bracket, but they've played absolutely amazingly so far. I can't wait to see how the rest of this final goes.
Well, the rest and Kieran, all that was fab. The demo attempt would have been ideal, would have opened the space, and Kieran finally goes with a bit of ground play. Stunned what the air was there. Wave got a touch to the ball. Crucial it was in the development that could have been costly. Treefork to the side. Wave just pops it to Cal. The pass has been brilliant. The double commit could have been costly. Kieran gets the touch, however. Popper still back as the third. Kieran will rotate in, depending how that was going, but Cal the Wave could have been more than that, and this has just been turning the screw. The screw has now been firmly well in place there by the opposition.
You could see how much respect the Top Shaggers have for the Washed Up Boys. They know they're one of the worst seeded teams in the tournament, but they're giving them so much respect. You saw from Kieran's dribble, none of them wanted to challenge him because they knew that he has really, really good ground game. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to do anything too stupid because they respect what this washed up boys side can do. And you got to give them props for respecting it. And what a great goal from Wave! It was a bump from Distan again, or from Cal actually, that comes across, hits Tree Fork, so Tree Fork can't get there. And Pupper just not able to get there in time. 3-1 to Top Shaggers.
Well, we talk about fingertips on the trophy. One hand, place it on by the top shagger. And this squad here, the washed up boys, slipping away into turmoil. They are down by 2. It could be the third. Kieran with another save. It's a shame. It's in vain. But will they live another day? It will be the best of 7. 4 games required at least for the win. And Tree Fork will stick a goal and will be forced to watch a replay. But at this stage here, oh, they've given up at this stage here. I mean, that's just unfair.
There might have been a mess up on Smash. That's probably about it. So that's probably why they thought it was a best of 5. But it is a best of 7 for sure. And the Top Shaggers only need one more win to seal the £100 to get the win for the first Dank Squad tourney.
Well, the first pride, and of course, maybe a legacy left behind. And of course, Lady Penelope saying now the reverse sweep. Well, if anything in the last 3 games have gone by, it's going to be difficult. It's still a tall order, but one game at a time, surely, Mayday.
One game at a time, Danny. And so far, that seems to be what Top Shaggers are doing. They're taking each game as they come. They're respecting their opponents, and they've come out on top 3 out of the 3 times already. Can they sweep them? I don't know. Can Washed Up Boys reverse sweep? We'll just have to wait and see. They've shown the quality that they need to, and we know that they can play well enough to beat this team, but we just have to wait and see if they can pull it out of the bag at this stage.
Put it in the bag. Tree Fork had a few opportunities. Crossbar being the denial, and Kyle would have been an ideal name, but it's him. Kyle gets the ball, calculated the play, gets it in, 1-0 nonetheless.
Pupper turned towards the blue goal there because he thought that Tree Fork could get a decent 50 off. Unfortunately, Cal came out on top and managed to get the ball just ahead of Pupper. 1-0 to Top Shaggers.
Well, the Top Shaggers, the grand final here. Dank Squad, Cameron Gaming, putting the prize pool up. And they have said, we want to see the best, and we have surely delivered. And this is ricocheted side of the net once more. 1-0 in the minute gone. And surely the washed up boys, it's getting tired, it's getting less speedier as the game's developed. And Distan back of the wall, Wave's not even pushing, Cal will just slow it down. It looks like they have enjoyed the series, and that was a brilliant pit for a pass into the middle.
Yeah, the washed up boys just seem a little bit more hesitant now. They're not just going for everything that they would usually. I think it might just be they feel they already felt defeated because they thought it was a best of 5. They already said GG's. They might have just had a bad mentality going into this last game, and it might have screwed them thinking that it was a best of 5. Hopefully they'll be able to mount a comeback. I don't know what the situation is though.
Well, the situation is simply a mayday. At this point, it's simply not happening, and the warning to be going off if you're a washed up boys player. This situation, Kieran is up midfield. Popper trying to pass it or play it to something. Wasn't there what he was looking. Tree Forks back. Third man. Kieran will touch it to there. Popper is there. Misses. Will chase Cal down. Will he get a phone number at least? And it looks like it's ran away on mutual consent. 2 minutes and 30 approaching with half time here. And of course, the Cameron Gaming Tournament at Dank Squad. At this stage, it looks like it's all done and dusted.
You wouldn't say that now, Danny. There's still 2 minutes 30 left. It is only 1 goal. We've seen this washed up boys team come back from worse. It's just a matter of can they do it? And Pupper showing that class that we've seen, the skill that we know that these boys can come out with. Great pass from Treefork, great little touch from Pupper, and Wave just not able to read it. Unfortunately, driving up the side of the post.
Well, for me, the server died, and
Yeah,
I think
same.
one of the players as well. So it's a fabulous goal, and it shouldn't really stand if it happened in the middle of it. But it has rejoined, and the action slightly a little bit unfair. But 2 minutes and 10, give or take there, and the Wave is putting the pressure on. I was ruling them out, and I think a few people might have done so too. Mayday saying mentality is there, just needs to get a bit of confidence. Back with one apiece on the scoreline in game 4. Wave to drop it in, does not connect. The server may have thrown it off, but surely the confidence has to be growing.
The server did kind of throw that shot off, but at the same time, it's a part of the game for most people. It happens. It's unfortunate, but the top shaggers just need to brush it off, get the goal, and seal the win. And has the server died for you, Danny? Oh,
So,
it's back.
server's still going on for me, and the players seem to be going on. Love the reset or at least stop and have like an admin control, but again, it's not like Psyonix believes on online tournaments in Europe happen. But anyways, we will get on with the series with 1 minute and 10 in this potential penultimate game that has been so far overwhelming for the Wiced Up boys. They are struggling, they are surviving, but how long is the question?
Hopefully, as long as they need to win it, but you never know with this top shaggers side. They've been absolutely phenomenal so far. All 3 games, all 3 wins. They've shown respect when they need to. They've been the faster team. They've been the better team. It's all looking towards top shaggers, but who knows? Washed Up boys have surprised us before. Maybe they'll do it again.
Do it again. They have probably maybe used all 9 of their lives, and Kieran Popper double commits. The save was ideal. 30 seconds remaining. Will the Wiced Up boys do a speciality act, or is it elimination on the cards?
It was an unfortunate touch from Kieran. Neither Pupper nor Treefork called Kieran off it. Pupper might have been able to clear it to the side. It was the only touch Kieran could get from that position, and the top shaggers capitalised. It's an unfortunate way to concede, but it happens.
It's going to happen. Kyle down to the side. Kieran Popper is there. Kieran was expecting the pass. Popper went for the shot. Treefork to the side. Creep control. Wave reads at 10 seconds down, and the top shaggers have this game surely sealed. 3 down to 2. We've seen this before. We've seen this opportunity, and it does not work again. And for the first time here at the Dank Squad Comrade Gaming, we have the Top Shaggers as your weekly winner.
And absolutely deserved. They played phenomenal in the finals. They've played amazing as far as I can see throughout the tournament. They've been the better team for the entire final. Absolute standout players.
Well, they have been the standout players, but of course, credit where it's due. The Wiced Up boys and Kieran Popper and Treeforks, of course, your runners up. And that epic semi final that was. If anybody didn't watch it or wants to see what happened, I suggest you rewatch that. That surely has to be the game of the tournament so far tonight.
100%. Washed Up Boys beating the number 1 seed Ireland in UK was an absolute phenomenal series. It was by far the favorite series I've watched in quite a while, and it just shows how good older players can be in the scene.
Well, the older players still have it, but of course, stamina may have been the issue there. The best of 7 only required 4 games, but of course, that's been the Dank Squad tournament. Of course, thanks, of course, to all the admins and the staff that's working behind the scenes, and of course, Comrade Gaming for the £100 prize pools they have stuck up here tonight, and of course, anybody else who may have donated into the background. But while that is the case as well, I've been Danny Boy ATM, and of course, we thank everybody here, and of course,